I came home so I can watch 24. Once
Oh, no.
24 came out, then I came in my office and jumped on the gun channels.
Now, did you, as far as your side business, I'm assuming you kind of run that out of your grandmother's home?
Well, out of my house.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what your arrangement was.
Oh yeah, I got my own house, 3 bedrooms. I'm the only person in here. I turned one of them into an office. So this is where I do all my computer work. I got a computer here that I'm reformatting for a client. I got another computer over there. Why am I saying over there as if you can see it?
I know what you mean, though.
Well, I had to put a new OS on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I told him I don't do any of the when I put an OS on something, it got to be genuine, legit.
Hey, Antonio, you know we're live, right? Just to let you know.
Okay. I don't think I said anything illegal.
Well, the lobby is normally always live. I mean, unless it goes down, it's always live.
Yeah, I don't think I said anything illegal or anything that would compromise me.
I was just saying you were talking about your business and stuff.
I'm not sure why Khalid said that, but yes, he's stating the obvious.
Oh, I hear myself.
Hey, Antonio, you know we're live, right?
Yeah, you must have the gun channel's window open.
I only have 2 windows open on mine.
Well, if you go on the gun channels one and just mute that channel.
Oh, it's not even playing on gun channels.
Well, it's coming through somewhere.
It is now, yeah. That's why I said it was live, because I don't know if all it changes is that little thing in the top right corner, and you're talking about.
I mean, I have the gun channel window open,
personal, you know. So
but I have it muted.
Broadcasted.
So it doesn't get that feedback sound.
Okay. Yeah, I may say some personal things, but I won't say anything that'll compromise me.
Yeah, we had one guy here one time, and this is kind of, maybe this is why Khalib said it or not. I don't know, but we had a guy here. He worked at a big box store, and he was, generally speaking, putting down that. And then I jokingly asked him, I said, "So what's your store number?" Knowing that stores have individual numbers like serial numbers. And he said it online. Well, someone was listening that worked for that particular big box store and actually got back to the store manager. And he ended up losing his employment.
Oh, wow.
Now, I didn't say what he said he did, but I thought he had enough common sense that you don't say anything on the internet.
But honestly, Dano's just so trusting, you know.
Well, I sometimes it's one of those rhetorical jokes.
Yeah, I know.
We're supposed to be rhetorical.
Exactly.
He thought it was just an actual
literal misinterpretation, though. What's the sound itself?
Yeah, I won't say exactly where I work, but I would describe what I do at my employment.
I don't mind telling people. I mean, I don't like broadcasting what company I work. I mean, I work in a grocery store. I'm not telling anybody that. I don't really mind telling people what grocery store, but I don't sit here and just blab about it just because it's not good form. I don't think.
Exactly. I mean, work should stay at work.
But if someone asks me, "Hey, what grocery store do you work at?" I have no problem telling them. But
well, it's also by leaving work off air is the easiest way to never have it be a problem.
Exactly.
And it's really not that important enough to bring up. I mean, this is not the job improvement seminar chat.
Exactly. When I do bag groceries and ring customers up all day, ooh, sounds really exciting, doesn't it?
But it can be exciting for somebody.
It's alright. It's not a bad job. I like where I work. It's nice. I like the people. Good people.
Yeah,
that's really what makes a job. I think what makes a job a lot better is the people you work with.
Whether it's when you work with the general public, sooner or later you're going to have a bad day because the general public is filled with assholes. And so sooner or later those assholes are going to come to visit. And the last thing you want to do is get on the internet and say, asshole X, Y, and Z came up to me today at store X, Y, and Z, located in the town of X, Y, and Z, at 10:30 in the morning on Tuesday.
I mean,
Oh yeah, that's way too much information.
even when I get a bad customer or just a customer being kind of a jerk, it doesn't really bother me. It might bother me for like 5 or 10 minutes. After that, I'm just like, whatever. I don't even care. You know. If it's something that was there, you know, them just being rude and it had nothing to do with my fault.
Inevitably, there's going to be rude people. Inevitably, I mean, unless you're very lucky, or self-employed, you're going to have a problem with your boss.
For example, when people try to buy, because with food stamps you can't buy any hot foods, like hot prepared foods, and people will try to buy like hot wings or something that's a hot cooked item with food stamps, and we tell them, you can't do that. And they act like they get mad at us. And they just, you know, sometimes they'll just walk out, not even say anything, and leave their stuff sitting there.
Yeah.
And it's just like we don't make those rules, you know. We just have to follow them.
Yep. And the thing of it is they know that. Anybody who says that, you know, who has that dumbass look on their face,
yeah, exactly,
is playing a game because.
And the reason they're seeing if they can get away with it.
In the state I live in, Illinois, and I work with the homeless, and these guys I know because I've done this dozens and dozens of times. They are told by the employees and by the state of Illinois exactly what you just said, and so they know that they're just trying to see if they can get away with it because some clerk at some other store didn't care or didn't know that they weren't supposed to do that and let them get away with it. So now they're thinking, well, gee, maybe I can do this somewhere else.
Yeah, but like at the newer stores, the bigger stores, I guess, like stores I work at, the computers are automatically, they don't even let the person pay for it without option of payment. They won't even let it go through.
Right.
Which compared to like a smaller store where the register's like manual, where they just type price in.
Right.
But of course, then when the store goes to submit their invoices or whatever, they're not going to get paid for it. They're not going to get reimbursed by the food stamp because they're going to be like, oh, well, that doesn't cover. So.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. You can still buy all the stuff that's hot, cold, like hot wings. You can get the hot wings cold in the pack.
Eat it in the parking lot.
Exactly, a big deal. Go home and put it in the microwave.
I just try to actively avoid them when I go to the grocery store. 'Cause when I go to the grocery store, I get the little small basket. Since I have a low income, I can't afford to buy a lot of food, so I make sure I buy the little basket. That forces
That's a good
me
philosophy.
to
That way
stay in budget.
you fill up what you can, and that's it.
You know, when I get to the line, I don't want to be behind somebody who got 2-3 trays of stuff. That's too much.
Oh yeah, it kills me. Like I don't spend as much now. I'm pretty good about it. But when I first started working, it killed me. Like I'd see something that was good, some good deli food or something, and it's on sale. I'm like, oh gosh, and then I end up getting it. I'm like, it's on sale. I just can't. It's like it's so good, can't pass it up. But now I'm a little bit more budgeted.
Yeah. Yeah, the economy isn't doing so well right now. So I gotta make do with what I got.
Yep.
Can you say?
Yes, I know we're talking about economic stuff in the gun chat.
This is the lobby. We can talk about
anything. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the anything goes room. Well, not anything.
Not anything. No. According to Cork's definitions of anything, we might be
exactly. I gotta see that before Cork pops in here with it.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm gonna put up that picture just because I can.
No.
And I don't know if Antonio's seen that disgusting picture.
It may be wise that I haven't.
Cork,
Hey, it's a very, very sexy picture.
Cork, just go into the chat and leave that picture up, and then leave your computer open or whatever. So whenever we're all gone, they'll still be here for like 8 hours. And when they post a chat, that'll be the thumbnail. Be a picture.
That's a good idea.
It will, because that'll be the longest thing in there.
As I said, I'm a sexy man. So.
Where is everyone? Like I just got home, and apparently I just got done with Stone Guy's chat, and now.
Well, nobody from Stone Guy's chat came to the lobby. They all.
I'm here.
I'm not sure if I think they may have tried.
Let's see.
Prophet may have tried to create another chat, maybe.
I don't know, this lobby chat's pretty much done away with people having to do after chats, which in some ways is kind of nice, but it doesn't give. It's nice. It gives a break for a lot of people, but it also doesn't give people the option to, if they want to start doing after chats, it's kind of hard for them to do that because then a lot of people show up here and then it's like split.
Well, they can still do the app chats they want. They don't have to come
Exactly,
to the
yeah.
chat.
And that's well, I guess that's true. And they can always have a structured after chat they want, but if no one wants to do a structured after chat, then everybody just shows up here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I don't know. I
know
think it's
what
kind of harder for people. Like before, when people hosted the after chats, their subscribers saw it. And I think we were getting a lot more. Even the late chats, people were still watching them and getting more attention. But now that these chats are streamed through YouTube through gun channels, not as many people have been exposed to that channel yet. So it's taken a while for
Taking a
these.
little extra time, yes.
Right, yeah, and it's hard to get feedback. You know, like if the chat goes easier when there's people commenting and stuff on the outside, and you can comment off that and ideas and stuff.
Yeah, they can find it, it's just not easy.
Speaking of being exposed, Court, can you put your cat back up on the screen?
Hey, they asked for it, so...
That was in the
they
winter
asked for
time,
it.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one of the coldest days of the year. I went outside and did that.
How long were we out there? Like 30 seconds?
A couple minutes.
Oof.
I used to do things like that when I was young.
Hey,
I'm in my 40s. I'm not young.
Ah,
in the side chat, take a look at that link.
I used to do things like that never.
What?
Talking about, he said I used to do stuff like that when I was young, about Court going outside naked in the cold weather. I was like, I used to do stuff like that never.
I got a training class coming up the end of June, and I don't have any magazine holders. At least, I mean, I have some, but they're not made for like concealed carry.
Now, are these Kydex? These right here that you posted, or are they?
Well, I want to say they might be just plastic injection molded. I'm not positive. I mean, they're obviously not. You know, it's not expensive.
So
stuff.
let me tell you something though that you're not gonna like, because I have a mag pouch, the same design but from Safariland, and if you scroll down it says with belts up to 2 1/4 inches wide. Oh wait, never mind. This one has a spacer. Okay, well then you'll be good, because a lot of these like that are just they'll just be Kydex and they'll have like a leather backing on them. Let me get mine real quick. Mine's like right here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Forgot what crap. Where did I put it? Dang it. I just had it. I think it's in my range bag. Yeah, here it is. Hang on.
If anybody else here online happens to have a dual mag carrier that would like go on a 1.5 inch belt, gun belt,
I don't have any.
feel free to chime in.
All right, here's one I have, and it's similar design. It's Safariland, and it's for 1911 actually. But the thing is, it says up to 2 3/4 inch belt, but that doesn't mean you can't adjust it. That's 2 3/4, and there's nothing to stop. Like if you're using a smaller belt, it'll move.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
trying to show us? Because we don't see anything but your avatar.
No, you have to click on his avatar, and that'll focus the screen on him. And that'll lock it basically locks the camera on his camera.
No, but if he's talking, it's only going to show him. Unless somebody's louder.
No, not if you if you click on his icon, Antonio, just for you only, it will lock the camera on him.
Oh, yeah, I know about the blue outline. It's just
Okay.
that when he was talking and he was trying to show it,
It's
I only
probably-
saw his avatar.
Just because
Show
your
me-
bandwidth is a
show me
little
the front.
slow or behind.
Show me the front of it, not the back of it. Okay, so that's a three holder.
Yeah, this is for 1911 mags, just single stack, and
Okay.
this is great. Actually, I like this. It's for the price. It was perfect. Except I didn't use the retention at all. I took the retention screws out because I just couldn't get them loose enough with them still in there, and I just ended up taking them completely out.
I thought you were using a G34 for competition.
Yeah, I shoot my 1911. But I shoot my 1911 for about a couple months before I got that, and I'm still going to shoot my 1911 every now and then just for fun.
So what are you using for a mag pouch holder for your G34?
They're a little bit more advanced. Let me get them. Hang on. Oh, they're over here in my belt. They cost about they're for 3 of them. It was $100. They're not made for concealed carry. They're racer pouches.
Yeah. Well, that's
Alright.
I'm just curious what's out there because I know what I'll call the war pouches for like a battle belt or a chest rig.
See, this belt is just a Velcro rig. It's tough. And these are the pouches I use for them. These are pretty nice pouches. They're tension adjustable with these little wheels right here.
Uh-huh.
And there's like a leaf spring in there that moves back and forth when you turn that. Mine are real loose right now because that's the way I like them. They're fast. You just pull them right out.
Those 17 rounders.
Yeah, these are my regular mags, and these are made by Double Alpha Academy. That's also that's their symbol right there.
You're right about because of
Nice.
their size is the only reason that that they're not really for concealed carry. But what do those things run? Just out of curiosity.
These are $32 a piece, I think, on
Yeah.
Midway.
That's probably about right. That seems.
I could put them closer. They're really not as big. I mean, they're kind of big. Like I would carry one. It would be good for outside the waistband carry. I would put it if I was carrying every day and I was carrying everything outside the waistband. I wouldn't mind using one or two maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe just one because that doesn't take one by themselves isn't too bad. And I really like their design.
Yeah. I do have a question, and maybe there's nobody here that can guide any light on it. But it seems to me that mag holders, and the idea of and with concealed carry, at least in my state, Illinois, there's no requirement to conceal your mag holder. So that being said, but it also gives away any
That you
possible
have.
advantage of being concealed.
But you'd
Now-
be surprised. Well, if you're using something like this, obviously, some people, majority of people know what it is. But even then, a lot of people aren't gonna know what it is. They're gonna not even look twice at it. I've noticed like maybe because I work at a grocery store, so I see people all the time, every day carrying, and I've only noticed mag holders like once or twice.
Mhm.
I've noticed a lot more guns printing than I have mag holders, something like that. I've seen the one mag holder I can think of. I'm pretty sure it was a single stack 1911 mag. Because I was looking, it was a guy walking, and I saw something leather on his belt, and I was like, "What is that?" And I saw something shining through it, and I was like, I could just tell by the shape of it, it was a magazine,
Mhm.
and that's the only reason I knew is because I'm familiar with what it looks like,
Yeah. Yeah. Which is I have a gun belt, but it's not that weaved embossed leather look that cops usually have. And the reason I didn't get that sort of thing was because I didn't want just by looking at my belt somebody say, "Gee, it's a gun belt."
Oh yeah, you're talking about the one that they have. You're talking about the leather ones that have the double belt hole on them. The belt loop belt clip has two holes, sort of.
Yeah. But what I ended up getting was where it's nylon, but it has a piece of Kydex in between the two layers. So it's just as stiff as those traditional leather 2-inch belts.
Right. I'll probably just end up carrying like whenever I start carrying, I'll probably get just one of those like nylon belts that are really lightweight, but they tighten up, and when you tighten them, they don't give any.
Mhm.
They're the loop, hard to explain how they.
Right.
Or maybe one of the ones that have the clip on them that snap. I don't know. That might be kind of uncomfortable. I'm not sure.
Well, but my goal is to hopefully, since I have a little bit of time, is to try to find something that will fulfill the requirements for what I need for the class, but also I can use it, and it will still be may possibly be able to be concealed, short of using a cover garment.
What class is this?
It's a combat pistol class.
Yeah.
And you have to have a 2-pouch mag holder,
Mm-hmm.
for the class, which is fine. It's just that I'd like to use it for more than just the 2 days of the class.
Oh, so you're trying to get something that you can, because you actually, you want to take the class with something you're going to use anyways, kind
Right.
of.
So,
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
and so that again, whether it be a week after or whatever, that when I'm concealing my gun, I'm not advertising that I have one because everybody can see my mag holder.
Right. Well, what are you going to be carrying? Your 26, right? Or,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to bring both. But I'll be taking the 26 for the class.
That's what you usually carry. That's what you're going to be carrying, right? Usually.
Right. Well, that's what I carry now is my 26.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, when I start carrying, if I'm carrying something like if I'm carrying a full size, like a Glock 34 or 17, I'm only gonna carry one mag in the gun and one extra mag. But I guess if you're gonna want 2 mags, I guess it's the Glock 26.
You know, I had seen a mag holder that was horizontal rather than vertical.
Ooh, that sounds weird.
And, well, it sounds weird because it's different.
It sounds weird for everyday carry, not for competition.
Well, because it's parallel to your belt. It
Right.
doesn't. It's not gonna, and of course, because it's black, and I have a black belt, it's not gonna stand out in color against my pants or my shirt.
Here's what my friend uses that, and they're actually I'm pretty sure this is the same kind he's had. He brought them over to my house once. They're single mag pouches though, and I really like them for what they were, and I think it'd be better to have single ones. That way, if you ever didn't feel like carrying, if you only wanted to carry one extra mag, you wouldn't have this giant double or triple holder with only one mag in it.
Right.
Because then if you're carrying it, even then, if I was carrying a double holder, I'd feel like I'd have to carry the extra mag, because why not?
I mean, I like the idea of a spare mag just because magazines do fail.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely have one.
And
spare
you know,
mag.
it's not so much about ooh, I need more more bullets.
rounds.
There is no magic number, but
Exactly.
springs get stuck. The bullets can get bound up as they're feeding forward. Maybe it gets jammed, and I just need to drop the mag, flush out the bad round, and start anew. Ram in a new one and send it home.
I recommend carrying at least three 50-round Glock drums. Never know when you're gonna run into a zombie mob.
You looking for inside the waistband or outside?
I don't know. Are you talking to Dano?
Yeah, I'm talking Dano.
For the class, it's outside the waistband, mag holders.
I don't think I'd want to carry a mag inside the waistband.
Because I put a link of what I'll call an inexpensive one, inside the chat here, that just for the class will do.
I mean,
It
if
looks
you're
reasonable to me, but I'm not a gun guy. Well, I'm a newbie, so my opinion really doesn't matter.
If you're interested in guns, you are a gun guy. Being a gun guy does not require an armament. It does not require 1,000 rounds. If you are interested in guns, you are a gun guy.
Oh, I saw a cool shirt today at the store. I told the guy I liked it. I was like, that's a pretty sweet shirt. It said, had 2 arrows pointing to his arms. It says, "You can't ban these guns." It was pretty funny. I've never seen one like that before. And then I saw another guy today open carrying an XD. It's pretty cool. I was talking to him about that a little
I
bit.
don't encounter anybody open carry.
I see a pretty good bit of open carry. It's not like, I would say at least once a month. One a month at least. That I see, but I'm not there all the time, so, and I don't see everybody necessarily. We have a couple. There's one guy. He's a repeat customer, a normal customer. He always carries a Glock. I think it's Glock 23. But he's not really big in the guns. Like, I asked him one time. I was like, "So what generation is your Glock?" He didn't even know what gen it was. He's like, "It's Glock 40." I was like,
Well, you're in Georgia, right?
"Yeah."
Well, don't you see people open carrying?
Dude,
Yeah.
me and Marco,
Yeah, I'm in Georgia and I don't see people open carry.
me and Marco in a chat by ourselves wondering where the fuck everybody at, and y'all already in one.
Well,
This is the lobby. When they ended the last chat, they said everybody go to the lobby.
Yeah, but the link, we clicked on the link that Court put in there, and that wasn't the right link.
That was the main page.
he was scamming you.
It wasn't this one.
I can't help it. I was a link on the main page.
Hey man, you put the link inside the chat. You thought that was legit. You just trying to keep us out of it. It's cool though, bro. Boy.
I don't know what I'm gonna carry whenever I start carrying them.
I know the way I carry my gun is not popular. I've seen plenty of YouTube videos tell me I don't need to carry my gun the way I carry it, but
How do you
it's the only
carry
way
it?
I can carry it without people knowing.
How do
I
you
carry it in my pocket.
Well, that's not bad as long as you have the trigger.
You got something to throw in the trigger guard?
No.
Okay, that's cool too. I don't care. You shoot your dick.
It's just there's nothing else in that pocket.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess there's nothing else in there, but I still, if it depends on what gun it was. If it had a safety on it,
No, I don't buy. I don't have any safeties on my gun.
right?
I wanna save up enough to get a holster for it. 'Cause the holster I did buy is too stiff.
It's a
When I
Glock,
pull
right?
the gun out, the whole holster come out.
You carry.
What gun are you carrying?
The Glock 26.
How the hell do you fit that in your pocket without it printing? What size pants do you wear?
I wear regular navy pants. When I put it in there, nobody can tell I got it.
Dude, I can almost fit, like, if I was wearing a loose shirt, I could fit my Glock 34 in my pocket and cover it up.
I could pocket carry my Glock 26, Girk.
I can't. Well, I think I wear like slim straight jeans. So
Exactly. I don't show jeans that are trying to show off my ass.
I don't either. I just wear jeans that fit like I'm a grown ass man.
But a pocket,
No, you wear jeans to show off your package.
proper
So
pocket holster should have some
fun.
Antonio.
I was gonna say I got my junk in there normally, so a 35 is no big deal.
Antonio,
Yeah.
a proper pocket holster should have some sort of hook so that when you withdraw it, it gets snagged on your pocket and stays in there.
Now,
Or
I don't want to keep it in my pocket. I only have it in my pocket because I don't have a holster to put it on my side.
Oh,
You should
okay.
go. I carry appendix most of the time. Have you tried that?
That's too close to my private.
I always thought this kind of pocket holster would be good. Of course, I've never had any experience, but I always thought something kind of small like that would be kind of
Let me
comfortable.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. Getting shot in your leg is more detrimental to your health than getting your dick shot off. It might
Well,
not
I've
be-
already been shot in my leg before, so.
I don't know
You know,
the femoral artery.
Yeah, you hit that femoral artery, you're fucked. Most likely. But you shoot your dick off, you might be alright. You ain't gonna be able to fuck nothing, but you'll be alright.
Yeah, you'll be depressed, but you'll be alive.
You might, you wouldn't last long because you probably commit suicide after. I know I would. I can't live with shooting your dick off. But.
Oh, that's a pocket holster. That's a lot cheaper than the holster I saw.
I'm assuming that's just all that does is cover like the trigger guard, pretty much.
Is that one of those minimalist
Yeah.
pocket guards? Yeah, they're like $22.
Get one of those fucking little Mick holster things that just Kydex things that just cover the trigger guard. But
That's kind
I
of
mean,
that's kind
Well,
of
I have one of those, but when I pull the firearm out, the whole holster come with it.
no,
Oh,
there's a little Kydex piece that goes over the trigger guard.
Yeah, and then you put a
Like a
lanyard
lanyard.
around your
Yeah.
belt. So
Loop.
yeah, so the lanyard connects your holster to your belt. So when you pull the gun out, the holster will get snagged from the lanyard.
And come right off.
Yep.
I mean, you carry how you want to carry.
And them joints are cheap too. Them joints are like what, $12, $15? Like they're not that expensive.
Okay, 'cause the holster I was looking at was $75. That was a little bit high.
No,
No,
these
like
are
them
like
little-
$22.
75, man. That's expensive.
Holsters get expensive.
I'll find one for you because
It's like
I've
how
got
much I paid for my competition holster.
somewhere.
How did you do in your competition?
I didn't go to the one Saturday. I was not feeling well.
Oh, you hyped it up that much and you ended up not even
Oh.
going.
Dude, I know. I woke up on time and everything. I woke up and I was feeling like crap. And I was
I
just
know
like,
what
I don't
happened.
even feel like going.
You partied too much playing beer pong the night before that you couldn't make it. I know what you
I
mean.
woke up, got a shower, got out of the shower, and I was like, I'm going back to bed. I was like, I don't feel like going. I don't feel like driving an hour to go shoot today. And none of the guys I normally shoot with were going anyways. None of them went, so I would have been just dicking around by myself, and I was like, I really don't want to go. Especially since I couldn't shoot my Glock 34, I was going to shoot my 1911 because I didn't have enough ammo for my Glock. I was like, man, or the right, I don't have enough. Well, I don't have the right gear for IDPA for my Glock yet either. I don't think these mag pouches would work on a regular belt. They might.
Now, I do have a good holster for my SD40, but I'd rather shoot the Glock 26 than the SD40.
All right, I'm going to put a link in the side chat, and Antonio.
Okay.
I'm not saying this exact one to go buy it, but this is the concept of what I'm trying to talk about. Go ahead and paste it in there.
Hey, whatever
When you're looking
Take a look
stuff,
at that.
when you're looking for stuff for the Glock 26, does it fit? Is it compatible with any other kind of frame or?
Yeah. My Glock 23, my Glock 19, Glock 17.
So you're saying anything for a Glock 17 or 23 or 19 will work for?
I mean, the only exception would be is if you have a holster and the end is
Not
closed
necessarily.
off, that doesn't allow for a longer barrel. That would be an exception.
We want to make sure that it's catching the trigger guard too, because there are a little bit of differences in the frames.
I'm talking about the mag. I'm looking at mag pouches, mag holders right now for Dano.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, they're all good to go.
The 9s and the 40s are the same.
See, here's another option. This is the same exact thing I have, Dano, but I think that Black Hawk one would probably be better because this is the one I have, and like I said on the back of it, you can adjust the width for the whole for your belt, and it's like 2 1/4 inches wide. So if you're using a regular belt, it's gonna be it might be a little loose, especially if you have your tension tight.
Oh, dude, you don't want that. I got you, man. Hold on.
I think the
Antonio, did you take a look at that holster link?
Yeah, that would work for me.
that's what I was
For the
looking
scenario I have right now, yes.
Yeah,
That's the
I
exact
mean,
thing I was looking
you
for.
hook it to your belt, and then the other end goes on your trigger guard of your gun. So when you pull that out, it automatically pulls that trigger guard right off.
Yeah, I can make that work.
What kind of what model Glock is that has serrations on the side like that?
RTF2.
It's
It's
different.
the RTF2.
It's the what?
RTF2 it's the second like frame texture frame that came out. That's what it's the rough texture frame 2.
But
I never knew about that one. I only thought the fish scale one was the other.
That is the fish scale one.
What?
That is the fish scale one.
RTF has the fish scales.
yeah, on the slide, it's got the fish scales.
It looks different. Okay.
Antonio, there's a number of different stores on Amazon that sell that same holster. So if for some reason they don't have one for your size Glock, just simply look for another model.
Okay.
Posted something for you, Ballistic.
I could have swore there was one that was fish scales, but it wasn't the. They were all circles, like scalloped almost, kind of.
That's what it is. That's how it come right there. I mean,
I thought it was more like circular. I didn't know it was like parabola shaped.
no, it's like it's like that, and then it's like dots in the middle of them.
That's not that much different.
I like them.
Is that the same thing Keeson? I know Keeson was getting real happy about a Glock a while back. He got with those special serrations. I guess that's the same thing.
Yeah. He got an RTF.
Gert, that goes right back to Gert. Before you got in the chat, that goes back to a problem that I had mentioned that with most mag carriers that I see is that they kind of defeat the whole concept of the concealed carry because of the colors.
No, this was for Ballistic for his competition.
This is what?
That was for Ballistics for his competition stuff. Color is not a matter, and then you can get it in any color. You can get it in black, gray, dark gray, light gray, brown, coyote, chocolate brown, green, red, whatever.
Well, that was a question I had to the chat is, I mean, anything other than the color of your shirt or your pants, it seems like you almost lose the advantage of being concealed.
No,
I mean, unless you have a conceal, cover garment.
I mean, okay, if you don't got a cover garment, you're not concealing anyway, right?
If you have it over your firearm, you're concealed.
Yeah, but so what does the color matter?
Well, let me give you an example. I'm required to conceal my firearm. I'm not required to conceal my spare mag.
Okay. Okay, so the color of your mag holder, why does that matter?
Because I don't want people to see a mag holder and say, gee, obviously he must have something that matches those mags, like a gun.
Okay, so okay, I'm not. What are you trying to say? That's what I'm not understanding. Is it the color or a mag holder period?
I'm trying to think of how to explain it.
Well, no, I'm saying, do you have an issue with a different color other than like black, or is it having a Codex mag holder on you? Period.
It's the idea of having a holder that's not at least as concealed as my gun is.
Okay, then that's why you get an inside the waistband mag holder, which that site also makes.
Well, I didn't know that they made inside the waistband mag holders.
I don't know if I'd like that though.
They make posters with mag holders attached to them. All types
How
of.
comfortable are they? Have you ever used one? Like I've had no experience with them, but it
Just
doesn't
be
sound.
careful with the inside the waistband extendo holders.
Are you talking about that picture that Philly ADC posted on Instagram for the 1911 mag? But yeah, they make it inside the waistband. I mean, you're obviously using up more space inside your pants than what you probably got, but you know, whatever works. I just throw a mag in my pocket.
Yeah. I was just wondering, since I had to buy one anyway for the class, if there was.
Oh, mag in your pocket is pretty heavy. Carrying a 17 round Glock mag, that's pretty heavy.
What you got there,
I
Walt?
don't know. Do you guys wear belts?
Inside the waistband.
What's going on here?
I have a belt, but it's not
Who
the
makes that one?
ideal belt. I couldn't find a leather shop around here.
Goatee?
I don't wear any type of specialized belt. I wear a regular belt. Works.
Here's one I found on Amazon. It's a Minotaur inside the waistband. Doesn't look too bad. Looks like it just sits right in your.
Daniel, check out that link I gave. There's inside the waistband. It's a good price.
Yeah,
I mean, they make Codex ones, and I mean, man, there's something out there for everybody.
Okay.
If you want it, somebody makes it.
all
I
right.
don't think I'm gonna carry mags inside the waistband when I start carrying. I don't think I'd like it.
Depends on the kind of clothes you're wearing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, I wear like Levi jeans with a belt. That's
Yeah,
kind
but
of-
sometimes you
That's what
can't
I'm saying,
always
but if
wear
you're
them.
like wearing nice slacks and tucked in your shirt kind of
Yeah.
thing, then you pretty much have to.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I
Although
put
they
the
make
gun-
ankle
what
mag
I-
holders too.
I don't dress to my gun. Whatever I'm wearing dictates the gun I'm gonna carry. So, you know, if I'm wearing something tight or whatever.
That's a good idea. That way I can just justify. That way I can justify new gun purchases. I'd be like, oh, I need this gun in case I ever dress up for anything. Oh, I need this gun whenever I go do this.
These soft suede ones will work though if you get them.
Like in the wintertime, I carry a bigger gun just because I can conceal
Exactly. Yeah, because you'll be wearing a coat.
I can conceal a bigger gun. I carry like two or three magazines on me just because I can hide it all.
I don't know if I'm gonna. Well, I don't know what more guns I'll have whenever I get time to carry, but I guess if I were to what I have now, I'd be carrying my Glock 34.
I want to have like safe problems when I get older, where I have way too many guns and not enough safe room. And I already have like 2 or 3 safes.
That's something I need to buy.
With safes? What the fuck?
No, I'm saying like when I get older, I want to have like 2 or 3 safes and still have like safe problems where like I'm still running out of space.
No, I mean if you can buy all the guns, you should be able to buy a safe too.
That's what I'm saying. But that's just the problem that I would like to have.
But at some point you say, do I want to buy this $800 gun or buy a $1,000 safe?
Yeah, but I already have 2 safes.
You like and you put a gun in a drawer, a gun underneath the bed, something's out in the fucking closet.
So
What
how
kind of
that
gun
work out
safe?
for you,
What kind of
Bert?
gun safe do you guys have that you like?
My house is a fucking gun safe.
Exactly. So how did that work out
That's
for you?
me.
Like this. I don't know, but I'm sure G-Webs has gun safes. What kind of gun safes do you like, G-Webs?
Come on, Gert.
The only thing I like is Fort Knox. That's the only thing I would ever buy.
They are known to be the best.
Aren't they pretty pricey though?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. They cost more than other safes, but they're not garbage Chinese metal. They're all U.S. steel, all U.S. everything. Made in U.S., shipped in the U.S. Money stays in the U.S. And they're the strongest ones out there. They're for both temperature and time.
They absolutely have an excellent reputation.
Yeah. The only thing better would be like a jeweler safe or something that you'd put in like a jewelry store or a watch store or something like that, where you need one that can like withstand hours and hours and hours of trying to get into it. But
exactly.
They cost nowhere near what that costs.
I think, because I remember Weapons Education did a video a long time ago, and I still have it added my favorites. He was in a safe store.
Oh yeah, that's his only good video. Everybody knows that video. But yeah, that guy is. I think that guy is one of the best. Not him, but the guy he was interviewing talk.
Exactly.
That guy did one of the best jobs of explaining the safes.
Yes,
I mean, he has a point though. Even though I don't like agreeing with Yankee, and I don't like to condone buying Chinese steel. Because that's all our steel. That's our bridges and shit that they just dragged over to China, remelted them, and then sold them back to us like a bunch of suckers. But I don't like to condone that. But it is true. You could probably get by with something that'll stop people from coming in. But
I think the best safe that was in that video was a Graffunder safe, but it was like 20,000.
Right. They start like that, but that's what I'm saying. Those are more like those are designed to keep millions and millions and millions of dollars safe inside, where a Fort Knox is more affordable for real people.
If you were like a extremely rich gun collector, that'd be where you kept all your safe queens. Would be in the Graffunder safe.
No, that's the thing. You couldn't even, because like Prophet's saying, to have enough money and guns, unless you have some like super expensive like collector's item type of gun, just to have that much, there's just way more, you can put way more density of diamonds and jewelry into a safe than you can guns. You couldn't, even if you had a $50,000 guns, that wouldn't be anywhere near what a whole bunch of necklaces, diamond necklaces might be.
The weight of gold.
Those things are just tons and tons, like literally tons of steel. You need like forklifts and shit to carry them around, but you're gonna pay for that much steel and that much.
That's one thing I'd be worried about getting a safe, is how to get it in the house and everything.
I've moved them before, and the biggest Fort Knox I've moved was literally the size of a shed, and 3 people moved it. It's really not that hard. You do it like the pyramids. You put it on rollers or golf balls, and you can move them pretty much anywhere, which is important, because if you think, I bought the biggest, heaviest safe ever, you still need to bolt it to the wall, because any crook who's worth a shit is going to know how easy it is to move a safe, and then just take it home and spend 2 months getting into it if they have to.
Exactly. Did you take it upstairs though? You know what I'm saying? Cause like,
nobody delivers safes upstairs or downstairs. You'd have to build the house and then drop it in with a crane or something to get it upstairs.
If I did by myself, I would just
what I would like to do whenever I get, this obviously way down the road, hopefully if I get a house that I like and I build a house or something, a guy we know, he did this with his house. He had a room in his basement where he took rebar, and it was like 3/4 inch rebar, half inch rebar, and he crisscrossed it, and he made like probably like 10 foot wide and probably like 12 foot tall, or 10 foot tall, as high as the ceiling, I guess. Pretty good, like little just room. And then he put concrete in that rebar, so it's like half a foot thick or a foot thick, and then he just installed a safe door to get in there. And it was really sweet because he had a lot of room.
Right.
And it was that's a lot cheaper if you're sitting there. If you're building your house and you just do that, that's a lot cheaper.
Right. Make like a vault, right?
Yeah, exactly. Of course, you just can't move that though. It's something that's permanent. So if you get, obviously, if you're in a house and you're settled down, that's fine.
What did he put on top of it for a roof?
It was cement. It was part of his basement.
Oh, okay. So he had a concrete.
Yeah, it was all solid concrete. The only weak point was the safe door to get in. That was the only way you could get in, unless you were like to drill through the concrete and cut with the cutting torch to the rebar, and that would take hours, because even though you could cut one tiny hole, you got to cut a bigger hole or blast it open.
If somebody's on vacation for the week and they got a couple of days.
Oh yeah, anything's possible. I mean, yeah, don't give a fuck what you got. Anything's possible.
But the vault room like that means you don't have to run into that problem where you got 6 safes down there or something.
Yeah.
You guys make me want to throw my heritage safe away.
No, I don't want to make it sound like that because, like I say, Yankee does have a point that, for 99% of criminals, I would think maybe even more than that, they're running in, they're not hardcore professional thieves like on movies or something. They're just running in, trying to find what they can and then running out. But I figure if you leave for a week, like Dan was saying, people go on vacations. If you're gone for a week, they got a week to play with your safe. So
yeah, I alarm
that can defeat that.
Yeah, I alarm my safe door and behind the safe. So if it's move, it goes off, and if you open the door, it goes off.
Brilliant. Yeah, not enough people make it so that if their safe is moved from where it is, that it goes off. That's a good idea. I think eventually they'll put little GPS locators in them too, I suspect.
Yeah.
You can always rig some C4, whatever.
You go to jail for that.
That would blow up your guns too. Maybe a claymore directed away from your guns.
Oh, yeah.
They can do a small charge,
Or have like a midget ninja that's
core right there,
there we go.
Change your footprints, blow their feet off, whatever.
I put a little midget ninja inside of my safe, so as soon as the wrong guy opened it, it'd be boom, ninja star right to the forehead. Done.
But you probably could put your own.
But those little ninjas are always playing with your guns, so.
Cleaning them, keeping them up to par.
Yeah, then you got like midget fingerprints all over your guns.
No, I'll leave like a like a silicone cloth in there for him.
All right, that's good.
You got like a little gun car wash.
Yeah, you just put your dirty guns in there and come back. They're already clean.
I just have Marco like be more Nobody else.
I couldn't hear you. Your jokes aren't funny.
Talking about going on vacation too. That's another reason I don't like people are always on Facebook. Oh, I'm going this place this week. It's just like, well, that's great, but it's really not smart posting that kind of information all over the internet.
I usually post it post facto.
Exactly right. When you come back, these are pictures from our
Look
trip.
at what I did while I
I
was
seriously
gone.
fuck with them. I post all my vacation photos before I even go.
He's a 1%, man.
Post old vacation photos. We just got back from the beach.
You got a good point there.
Yeah, I definitely. Let me house sit in your house. We're throwing a fucking party. Definitely, I'm inviting everybody.
Man, house sitting so boring. Well, I guess it depends on who you're doing it for, but still.
I house sit for my brothers and sisters.
I've house sit one time when my grandma's house got broken into. Fucking.
I house sat for somebody, and they had like the fucking thermostat on like a weekly control. So like every time I would go over there, the AC was off, and it wouldn't turn on until like after for a couple of hours, and the house is already like 80 fucking degrees. I'm like, I'm not sitting here.
Oh, they turned it.
You would hate to be in my house.
That's
my
what my dad
thermostat
does.
set to 94.
He's like, turn off the air, all stuff, and we get back and it's like extremely hot in the house.
I don't have a utility bill. I run my AC all day and night.
No,
I have a functioning AC. I just don't use it. I don't want that $300 bill.
Well, shit, I'd rather that than my house be fucking scorching.
That's one thing I wish my bedroom was downstairs because it always stays cool down there, but not upstairs. And I'm like, Dad, it's hot up here, and he's like, it's 68 down here. I'm like, it's like 74. He's like, well,
When you start paying rent, you can make that demand.
Exactly.
Subscribe to Household Hackers, man. They just put a video on how to make like a fucking air conditioner out of like a styrofoam fucking.
I saw that, Jay. Styrofoam bucket and ice.
And it was cool as fuck.
Whatever. It's in, like your ice bill or your refrigerator bill will go up then.
No, because your refrigerator is
like
always
5
constantly
minutes.
running. Your refrigerator is constantly running. So unless you unplug your refrigerator throughout the week.
No, you're taking ice.
To save money, I do.
You're just putting a fan in it, little tiny electric fan.
That magazine go. Oh.
Or you can just hire like midgets to like wave church fans
Just
on
put
you.
Ziploc bags with ice in them in your pockets.
Or just
You
like,
walk around with frozen legs.
gargle this and blow like your breath on your hand.
Yeah, but then you're also gonna end up with like wet stains on like your pants and try to explain that.
That'll keep people from messing with you.
Or you can just walk around naked.
Or have people call the
Like
police
court.
on you and try to have you committed. No, like when I walk down the street, I usually have like those Persian women with the feather, fanners.
Feather
And
boa?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, like
Like
the
the
Egyptians
wings.
used to have. Yeah. No, the Egyptians
Like a
used to
fan.
have.
So
Like
did
the
you
Victoria's
stop there, rose petals at your feet?
Yeah,
Or
and it's just like coming to America, and I have the rose petals at my feet, and I have servants wash my royal balls.
Oh, dude, if I'm not walking on rose petals, I get pissed.
I hear that.
Carnations do
It's
not
not too
count.
much to ask.
Carnations do not count. It's not the same.
I don't even reload my own magazines. I hire people to do that. Like
See, I'm
What
not
bothers
a
me is that
balls,
regular
man.
people walked on the ground. So if you put a feather petal there, well, then it's like a little better.
I never do that. I have people lift me 3 inches off the ground, and I just act like I'm walking on air.
Obamacare pays for my rose petals because I have rheumatoid arthritis in my feet.
But that bill's also $800 a month. But that's affordable. For 1%ers.
Yeah, not for me.
Another relative term, affordable.
Can I switch topics? I was over watching regular TV today, which I don't do ever, and like I could not believe they basically showed that whole asshole's video like over and over and over as they were talking about it. It's horrible.
No, but you know
I
what's
saw
weird?
like
Like it took them a
one
while to get it.
still
Though.
image of like the. Well, I don't know. I just only watched this afternoon, but this evening, whatever. But I only saw like one still picture, I think, of an actual victim, and then every like promo for the news starting was like that guy in his car, the video off of YouTube or whatever, and then they kept showing pieces of it while they were talking about other stuff. Ugh, depressing.
It's another reason why I had my cable disconnected.
I haven't watched cable
Yeah,
now.
definitely did not make me want to get TV again.
But I think that actually helps us because I think that plays more of the mental health aspect than the actual firearms aspect.
Well, they were
showing that.
They were saying gunman every time. It was gunman, and they didn't talk about the car. What's up with not talking about the car? They would show the picture of the windshield all smashed in, but they kept going like, "Here's the tally," and I was listening to it, and it was so frustrating that I don't know what station it was, but one of the major, I think it was just evening news, like national evening news, and they said something like the sentence was, "In a matter of moments, he killed 6." How did they say? 6 people were killed in a matter of moments. He shot 3, and I was like, "Wait a minute. I mean, technically, I guess you're accurate, but the way that you're saying that is, I'm not saying it exactly. I'm not quoting it exactly, but the way that they said it, you would think if you were just casually paying attention and didn't know the story yet, that he shot 6 people." Because of the way they said, like, in a matter of moments, and I'm like, wait a minute, the way I understood it is he stabbed 3 people, and then it took him some amount of time, like a half an hour to get to the school, and then after not being able to get into the sorority or something, I think the story went, then he started shooting people out front. And I'm like, the way that they suggested it, like, he just started a rampage, and seconds later, 6 people were dead from being shot. It was horrible.
Well, he probably shot him with a Glock knife or something.
Right. I mean, the whole thing is fucking worthless. I mean, this guy fucking decided to kill people because he couldn't get any fucking pussy.
Oh, but there was an excellent part. They were. It must happen like at a 7-Eleven or something, or some sort of a convenience store, and the idiot news commenter is standing there, or reporter, whatever you call him these days, with the camera pointed at his face, and then behind him, standing in front of like one of the large windows of the store, there was this guy with a big ass sign that he made, like out of cardboard and marker, and it said, "Our tragedy is not your." Oh, what did it say? "Our tragedy is not your
Political
commodity."
point? Yeah.
No, commodity. And I was like, "Oh, that's so beautiful." And he said, "This was like national news," and I can't imagine they understood that he had to be talking to them. I mean, they're the only ones profiting off of this shit.
Right. They should have had that guy come up there and say, "Fuck you in the pussy." Should have had that guy come up there, man.
Yeah, seriously, that guy's pretty funny.
It's horrible, man. Like there's something. This guy is something's mentally wrong. What's wrong with him? Would you want to kill people because you can't get any sex? It's not. It's obviously not the gun's fault. It's his fault. Like they can't get that through their fucking heads. Come on, man. He said it in the video. It's like a 7-8 minute long video. That's all he said was talking about was not being sexually active and hating the fact that he's not sexually active. So he wants to decide to kill people. He's gonna do it with whatever means possible. stab people, shoot people, blow people up, strangle people. You know, he was just gonna accomplish that or attempt to.
What kind of gun was used?
A Glock and 2 cigs, I think.
Ooh, nice. Pricey.
Oh, and then they did mention that they've served warrants to all 3 of the gun shops that he bought firearms at.
For
So
what
what's up
purpose?
with that? Exactly. Like, oh, they bought these a year ago legally, or he bought these a year ago legally, so let's go ahead and serve warrants, because obviously the gun shops that are blame here.
Wait, so he was the owner of the guns, the actual owner?
Oh yeah, he bought them legally in California.
You know, I was
I
But
like
at,
that's proof that gun control don't work.
Exactly, because first offenders, you can't see them.
Dude, it was in one of the most restrictive states for firearms ownership, and it was on a gun-free zone. So yeah, I mean,
right.
how could it be more obvious that neither one of those two things is going to prevent that from happening?
It was just like this. I guess she had just graduated high school, whatever. But this girl was she did porn, porn tape, and it leaked out, and all her former like high school classmates went out on Twitter teasing her,
Oh,
whatever.
I heard about this.
Got for press, and you know she went and bought a shotgun and drove to a lake and like committed suicide. You know what I mean? That's things like that. Like you can't predict. You know, I guess you can kind of predict that she's in trouble and she may need some type of help with someone to talk to. But you can't predict what someone is gonna do, especially especially before the fact, a year before, 2 years before, when they buy a gun. You can't predict that this guy is gonna go kill people, showing no signs. And even like they say, even if he was talking about this to the therapist, how he was, and he wanted to kill people, but he didn't make any like threats to a specific person. So by law, they can't report that. They can only report that.
But didn't his parents report it to the police and they came over and...
They tried, yeah. Well, I guess they reported it to the police, but they didn't show him the YouTube video. So when the police arrived, he was, good enough to go, and they couldn't do nothing about it.
Well, from what I heard, the police went to his house a week before this incident, so it was a week prior. So that video wasn't actually up yet. The one, his manifesto video or whatever.
But I guess he had videos that worried his parents. He pulled those down because he said that his parents were getting upset, and then he posted that one the next day. He went nuts.
But what I was going to say is that when
I shouldn't say that. He went nuts whenever he acted on it the next day.
What I've noticed a lot on like these news shows was, well, if the police would have just been able to go inside his house or known that he had owned a gun, maybe they could have taken the gun away from him.
Yeah, if only we had a police state, then maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Exactly. So my whole point was that if he was able to fool them there in person, whether he had a gun or not, and if they can't take him to jail, why would they be able to take his guns away? So if he's, what I'm saying, like if he's on the up and up at that given moment, he's on the up and up at that given moment, and he fooled everybody.
Right. And hold on, he was driving a BMW. How can't you get in the ass?
He's that lame.
I have no idea how that happens.
Me either.
And his dad was the producer or whatever, the Hunger Games. Like, you'd think that he'd get all kinds of tail.
Man, what?
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
Actually,
they say his stepmom is
assistant
on
director.
Housewives of, like, England or something, like the Housewives of Beverly Hills show for England or something.
It's crazy.
Yeah, obviously he had to be putting on a very creepy vibe to women.
I mean, he looked
Well,
like
women get all upset if you say you're going to stab them a bunch of times until their guts come out. I don't know. Women are uptight.
Yeah, I kind of feel the pain. But no, it's no way. I don't know. It's just, I mean, obviously every time this happens, it's a mental issue. We know, and I
mean,
others know.
Wouldn't a different country go, oh, I'm sure glad this only ever happens, like, hardly ever. Like, instead of making it seem like, now you better be scared to go to school tomorrow.
Right.
Like, if this happens, more than once every few years or whatever.
I mean, shit happens, and it's been happening. It's just the fact that it's being recorded and covered so much and brought the national attention, and it's creating this hysteria, and all this anti-gun agenda and blame the guns and guns are evil. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, but it's like blown completely out of proportion than what it used to be.
Are they still parading his father around? Because I didn't see him in the news today.
That's one of the victims' fathers.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I did see him in a news clip, but just like they weren't showing what he was saying. They just were, the news people were talking, and they showed the guy, but it wasn't him yelling. It was just him standing around or doing something.
I watched some of the interview for him, but I couldn't just sit there and watch the dude cry. So I turned the show.
Well, I haven't saw the video, and I have no desire to see the video.
I haven't researched it at all, really. Hardly just.
Yeah, I saw that it was on YouTube, and I was pissed because somebody sent us the link the other day, and I was like, damn it, I added another click, But I purposely closed it right away. I did not want to. I don't need any part of my brain knowing what that asshole was ranting about. I know it's enough to know that he ranted for 7 minutes, but I couldn't help it today. I mean, I had to hear part of it because they kept freaking showing it. I don't know how long the news was on, half an hour, and they must have showed. I mean, the video's only 7 minutes long, so they must have showed a good chunk of it on the news. It would be like playing at a low volume while the idiots were blabbing about their opinion of what happened or whatever.
I first saw it on World Star.
That's why
I was like hours after the shooting, and it took the news channels like a day and a half to either get the rights to it or to verify that it was okay to play it. Because I had seen it a long time, and I watched it on World Star, so therefore, yeah, like I didn't give him a view because World Star just rates people's own views. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I watched it. I watched it. Yeah,
The video, the one where he's in his car talking.
Yeah.
I wish I had a fucking BMW.
Yes, Khalid.
Wish my dad was rich. My mom was rich.
Proves that if you have BMW, you don't get no tax.
Good thing I drive a Honda Civic.
Honda Power.
You get even less tail, so you should get a BMW.
No, because then I save more money on gas, so I got more money to spend on girls.
Antonio's sitting there next to
Yeah, you and girls, you're like built like a toothpick and you're ugly.
No, the girls have to avoid me over here.
Someone's sensitive about their weight.
Let Cork tell you ugly.
Yeah, hey, that's a big insult. If you let Cork call you ugly. It's fucked up.
Come on, man. You let Cork call you ugly?
I know it's not true, so it don't bother me.
Oh my god, you're not even gonna come back.
It's only.
This week's gonna be the next one.
Don't get bullied, Caleb. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
His name is Khalid.
The insults he's projecting obviously just reflects on his own insecurities.
Insult C's? What the fuck is that?
The insults he.
It's hard to stand up for yourself when you're bent over.
Ooh. You can go both ways, cuz. Chill. You're not gonna come back? You gonna let old ass Dano and tell that Cork come at you like that?
Freaking Glock store still hasn't messaged me back yet.
Oh,
I hope we don't have a copycat.
Huh?
Because they keep showing it in the news, showing his name and what he did. I hope there's no copycats out there.
Well, I mean, they always do that. They're gonna run that story until they can't anymore every day until it gets old in 2 weeks like everything else. And I mean,
I think it's getting to the point now though where
it's gonna happen again. Not maybe the same scenario, but
less and less people are starting to watch the news, so that's a good thing.
Every day, so it's inevitable.
They're starting to not watch the biased news.
You would think by now they would quit doing that because other crazy people see it and they'll do the same thing to get notoriety.
Right.
That's why we never say
I don't even think it's a notoriety. I think that they see it and they're like, oh, well, that's kind of easy to do. You know what I mean? Maybe, knowing they're not going to get away with it, but they're knowing, well, this is, I can accomplish this.
I'm gonna call Yankee. There's been psychology of those that have survived, and those that had survived the incidents of doing these being there. The person responsible for the mass shootings, they wanted the fame. Every single one wanted the fame.
That's
all they want.
That doesn't even make sense, Quark.
those that survive. That, in other words, they don't commit suicide. They don't get killed by cops. They wanted the fame. They wanted their name.
Well, maybe he wanted to be the first or the second or the whatever YouTube killer.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm glad he got in his fucking face. He deserved it. But,
Speaking of people's opinion on the news, I've been looking for a picture of that sign I'm talking about. I guess it was a closet door painted white, and I just posted the link to the one article I could find on it, because obviously the news media doesn't want to pay attention to this. But it says that after 3 days of intensive news coverage, some of the students there, they painted the closet doors white and stood in front of that deli where it happened because of the news crews were, exploiting them so bad. And then it talks about, the signs that they painted, but remembrance, not ratings, stop filming our tears, news crews go home. So I think not only
is there any pictures of
people getting, no, I haven't found any yet. I looked all over Google Images and stuff too, but hopefully it'll start happening. We'll start seeing them. It was just basically, I think of somebody holding something. I thought it was cardboard, but I think of somebody holding like a big white closet door with like, maybe they painted it on there or wrote it on with a marker, sort of like a garage sale sign, really. But in other words, I think that not only are people getting sick of watching this kind of biased, like one-sided, horrible coverage, but also obviously the people that are there, they're not interested in having themselves be exploited like this. They want to grieve.
right.
They want to get over it. They want to move along. So I think that we're going to see hopefully less and less of this kind of bullshit crap.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause it gets old really fast. Every time something happens, it's way over covered, and and yeah, it is. You're exporting, these people for no reason. Leave them alone and let them be.
You also got to remember, every time they do this, you're wearing away other people's, feelings toward these incidents. They just become numb to it after a while.
Right.
Especially if it gets all its coverage. Like, look at, I'm going to give a good example. Like the Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. People were numb to that whole situation, 2 weeks after, but they kept showing the stuff, because they kept showing it. It was, top of the news and everything else.
Right. Well, bringing up Katrina, I actually.
Katrina's a little different, dude. That's the city
No,
of
I'm
New
just saying
Orleans
that they
being
get
wiped out.
people get numb to that, the whole loss of life. It's.
Well, gee, isn't there like a fire going on in Arizona right now? Are you anywhere near that?
No, it's closer to Huck, though. Huck's not too far from it. Huck smokes, He's out there shooting, and now there's a fire. I'm just saying. I'm not saying Huck did it. I'm just saying.
And I heard he uses tracer rounds.
Uh-oh.
Well, when he's shooting at like metal or really hard rock, he likes to shoot tracers because he likes the sparks it makes, he said.
Yep.
He's using Dragon Breath?
True, he was talking about Triumph and Dragon Breath 760-39 on Facebook.
There's that Huck started the fire.
He's a pyro.
Huck didn't start the fire? It was always burning.
I cannot decide.
That was Billy Joel. Took me a while to remember. As I was listening to G-Web Serenade Me, who the artist actually was. The original artist, not the artist currently singing.
Yeah.
That's the next topic for a chat. It'll just be a bunch of... What was that song? What was that show called? Where they would sing a few... Like, I can do that in 6 notes.
Name that tune.
Name that tune, yeah.
I can't decide if it's really going to be worth buying another barrel just so I can shoot my own bullets to save money. Or...
The first 3 lines of Uptown Girl.
I'd say you should go to a few competitions instead of getting up, being lazy before you start buying new barrels. You're like, maybe if I buy a new barrel, I won't be sore in the morning.
That's not why I didn't go.
You know what? Okay, the birds that you're looking at, the Storm Lake, the K whatever one, and the long one, right?
I already decided I'm gonna get a Storm Lake, so
Well,
that's decided.
How much is the Storm Lake?
Like 140, 160, depending on where I get it.
Okay, the lone wolf is 100. Then you save $60 and you can buy some more reload supplies.
Yeah,
It sucks. You're supporting a shitty company, in my opinion, and you got a big wolf throwing on it.
I've heard some bad stories from Lone Wolf. Like I've heard mixed 50-50 reviews, maybe even more weighed, like 60% negative, 40% positive reviews, like just from reading everywhere.
Negative is what? Are the barrels blowing up? Are they not accurate enough?
Just having problems with them, having to get them reamed out for reloads and all kinds of stuff. And
maybe the reloads aren't right because factory ammo, and I've shot reloads, never led, but never had a problem with my lone wolf.
Didn't a long time ago we make a video where we put different barrels in and then tested the accuracy? I could have sworn we did that. I think we did.
I watched one of the videos. You did, yeah. I watched one where you talked about all of them, and then I think you had a range video where you were only using like shooting 2 of them. But the one where you talked about them, you had like 4 or 3.
Well, I know I talked about more than that, but I could have. Actually, together between us all, we have all of them, and plus that. But
oh yeah.
Anyway, the lone wolves are a little sloppy, but I don't know. You can't always get them for 100 anyway. Sometimes they're like 120 something. And then I'd rather pay the couple extra bucks and support a good company is all. I mean, they're both American companies. It's just that I just don't like the Lone Wolf guy personally.
If you're in competition, why not spend the extra 20, 30 bucks and get something that's a little bit more accurate? If you're not doing competition shooting and you're just looking for a conversion barrel, then get the cheaper one.
Well, I mean...
Well, but they draw a big picture of a goofy-looking wolf on there.
You can pay $10 extra to get that off.
I would think a wire wheel would do pretty good on that wolf.
Nah, they laser engrave it enough that it would really look... Well, you'd have to really do some work.
Right.
You can pay $10.
Well, you pay $10 and they still write it on there. They just write it on the bottom.
Bottom, yeah.
But what if, okay, your purpose for getting a barrel is just so you can shoot your lead?
Exactly. It's purely for economical reasons, so that I will save money shooting my own lead bullets.
Oh, shit, I would get the fucking Lone Wolf.
Did you ever figure out how many lead
bullets? I'm also going to be using it for competition, that's all. Huh? What's that?
How many lead bullets do you have to shoot to break even?
Well, here's the thing. I can buy 1,000 plated bullets, 9mm, for $100. So, I mean, probably 1,000, like 1,500 to 2,000, which is nothing really.
Okay, if you're buying like plated bullets, you don't need the other barrels. You can use the Glock barrel.
But that's what I'm saying. I can make I can make lead bullets for free. If I buy a pack of...
Where are you getting free lead?
Tire shops.
Yeah, but not everybody.
Even then, it's not free. Last time I talked to a tire shop around here, they said for a 5-gallon bucket full of lead, it'd be like $30, $35, and that's insanely good.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's a lot of lead. It's like 50.
Factory, and lead is not as. I mean, it's not necessarily a precious metal like silver, but it has a value like copper.
Yeah, it's getting harder to find, but it's still pretty prevalent.
A lot of tire places,
in the neighborhood, the candy for the lead paint that they would normally be eating.
I mean, unless the garage is kind of ignorant to the fact that he could get paid for that barrel of lead, I don't see them just giving it away for free.
Like I said,
every metal on this planet has a value.
Think about you have a U-Pullet kind of junkyard. They might not care so much. They're just, to them it's just more crap that they're getting rid of out of their yard.
Exactly. They've got it sitting on there, and they're like, sure, take it.
A lot cheaper than buying plated bullets.
Or do lead weights? I'm not enough of a car guy. Like if they get damaged where they won't clip onto the rim anymore, do they just remelt them in the back and use them again, or is it just like the broken piece of lead?
They come in a big bucket, and someone comes and hauls them off.
From what I understand, they use them for refill it for doing battery work, I guess.
No, they just buy them like that. I don't think they don't make them at the shops.
Okay, it's not like they're melting them down like we reload. They don't just remelt them. I thought maybe they could since they're easy to remelt.
That'd be a lot of work though, just to make a tire weight. A lot of man hours.
What are you talking about? How hard is it to make a bullet? You put it into a mold and you smack it, and then it comes out done. I figured maybe it was that easy to do it.
Oh yeah, but the amount of money they'd save would
takes
not compare to how much money they could be making working on cars.
I mean, you got to heat. I mean, the melting temperature. I mean, if you really want it where it's pliable, is about 800 degrees. So you've got to get that pot up, and that takes a lot of energy. Typically, you're using electricity, and that's where the money comes from, as far as, or takes, I should say, in regards to melting the lead back down.
Let me tell you
regardless
That's
of what,
why whenever I'm going to melt bullets, I just go to like a gas station, see if I can borrow their bathroom key. I go in there for like 2 hours melting bullets.
Again, you know, ballistic.
Because those totally have good ventilation.
Yeah, ballistic lives at home.
Go
He
to the
uses
Wendy's.
propane that his daddy buys, so he doesn't have to pay for that stuff.
Use propane. Actually, I do use a little propane torch just to get it started, but I use electricity. I use a little small furnace. Holds like 10 pounds of lead.
I use propane and propane accessories.
My name is Hank Hill. I sell propane and propane accessories.
Yeah, when you start paying the electric bill, when you start doing it yourself, you're going, oh yeah, all the raw components are saving me money, but all of a sudden paying for electric bill that was $70 last month is now $140.
I don't think it's gonna be that much. It's not gonna be sitting there casting in like a 30-pound pot.
Or you get a cast iron pot and a little wood fire.
What you call it?
That works really good, actually.
Daniel, the guy who gets in the chats from Washington State, that man said he can make a 9mm round for about 14 cents. Now, you'd be hard-pressed to get 9mm for under 25 cents right now in a brass case. So if he can load it for 10 cents less, you're going to make $100 in 1,000 rounds.
Talking about he's using copper bullets.
I have no idea what kind of bullets he's using, but the point is, if he can save 10 cents, you can pay for your barrel in 1,000 rounds.
That's what we were trying to figure out.
Yeah, exactly. Probably a little over, probably closer to 2,000, but that's still.
It's about 1,500 tops. Like if you go up to 150, yeah, because it's 10 cents a bullet. So I mean, it's 1,000 rounds for 100. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now,
So,
you also have to put the value of your time into that. What is your time worth?
The kid is 18 years old.
Yeah, his time is worth
melt
nothing.
down some steel and make your own barrel, then you really be saving money.
Again, that's what
That'd
I'm
be
saying.
hard.
The value of your time. So.
Wait, do I actually have someone in here younger than me? Holy shit.
Columbia, he's 18.
Yeah, I know it's pretty young.
Yeah.
For Jesus.
No, I'm not the youngest person here.
for the dinosaur age.
You guys can just call me God.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
The wheel weights I'm using, they melt at 505 degrees is when they get molten. So around 530, 40 degrees is about where that's at when you got it. The lowest you can cast at. You can cast a lot higher than that, depending on what you're going for. But there is a possibility. I'm still not done messing around with treating my bullets and getting them the hardness up. And if I can get it right, and then I can get them to work in the factory barrel, I won't have to get it a aftermarket barrel. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be.
When you cast them, how do you cool them? Do you just do it in regular water or what?
Yeah, water quench them.
Water.
You do ice water or just regular room temp?
I never did that. When I was a kid, I thought we just poured them and let them sit there.
You can do that, but the way I've been doing it in the water because that's supposed to make them harder. The best way to do it, I've found. I'm gonna share this link because I don't want
to. I can tell you in automotive industry, which is where my lead experience comes from. When we used to pour the post on the batteries, they were just air cooled. We would the molds would be on there for maybe 15 seconds or so, and then we'd pop the molds off, and then just let them air cool on the line.
Yeah, it'll dry.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I do kind of remember sometimes we would open the mold over a coffee can of water and let them fall in there. I think.
But when you ice punch it, it makes it just hardens it. It hardens it quicker and makes it actually harder.
Yep.
I don't know. Someone did a video on it. And they actually.
But the thing is, doing that. That's what I've been doing. But the thing is, there's a lot of variables in that because you don't always get it in the water fast enough. It cools very fast. So if you're a couple seconds late and you don't hear it, it doesn't quench when it hits the water. It doesn't matter. It's already air cooled enough that it's not going to affect it. So
yeah,
the best thing to do is take all your bullets and just put them in a pan, put them in a convection oven. You get them right up to like 400 something degrees, like just right under melting point, so they're nice and hot, and then take them all out and dunk them at one time, and that ensures they're all uniform, and you get the same heat treatment. And the lead also age hardens, and if you wait, the longer you wait, eventually it levels off after several days. But for example, that link I shared the chart, like at 48 hours, the lead hardness, the BHM was 17, 96, 18, 7 days, 18, and it just levels off like at 18, depending on what kind of lead you're using. If you're using stuff like linotype, which is like a lot harder type of, it's not really pure lead. I forget the mixture of it. Were
you having problems with them disintegrating? Is that why you're trying to get it harder?
No, it's just letting.
Shoots clean.
It's letting the barrel.
That's what weighs so much in the barrel.
That's what causes kabooms. People, because they don't check their barrels, and you shoot 100 rounds of lead ammo, and it's sitting there lead in the barrel, and your diameter of the barrel it's enough. Eventually, it builds up to the point that it's squeezing those last few bullets out.
It's
much
fill
pressure.
up the rifle and stop the rotation of the bullet.
What's that?
I mean, I would think you would start noticing an extreme lack of accuracy before you ever got to that point, because your lands and grooves would get filled up.
Well, not everyone's smart, Daniel. Some people are idiots.
Yeah.
It's like, I went from putting a hole in a hole to suddenly I got bullets going everywhere.
I've shot about I shot 15 the first day I went out there. I shot like 6 yesterday, so I shot about like 20, 21 lead bullets through my Glock, just testing them. And the first like 1 or 2 were fine, but they started tumbling so fast. And then the leading wasn't real bad, but it was definitely there, and wasn't something you would want to just leave. And I don't know, maybe some of the problems are being caused too because it's a faster round. It's 9mm. But even though I was shooting a lot of underpowered rounds and they were still leading. But like with my 45, for example, I've had no problems with leading in it at all.
With what kind of barrel?
Isn't it redundant to say underpowered 9mm?
What's a normal 9mm?
That's a double negative.
Exactly. Like you could just say 9mm, it'd be the same thing.
We'll put it like this, BE. If you would have bought the 40, the Glock 35, like I told you, you'd be having no question asking yourself, should I buy a barrel or not? Because you'd already would have bought it.
And then you'd have 2 guns for the price of 1.
Yeah, and then you'd actually be half of a man.
But I'm not buying a conversion barrel. I'm buying a barrel same caliber just so I can shoot lead bullets.
Yeah, but okay. You'd be more.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, bro.
And the thing is, 40 caliber is very touchy to reload with, because that's where most of the kabooms happen. Is 40 because it's so high powered, and there's not a lot of wiggle room with it. And I think the Glock factory barrels are actually unsupported chamber or whatever is the way they word it.
Yeah.
And it's very that's most of the Glocks you see blown up are 40s.
And that's why you're still half girl.
That's why I'm still wet.
I think if that actually is happening, it's 9mm shooters. They shoot the first 40 and then they drop the gun because their wrists aren't used to it, and then the barrel gets fouled or clogged up maybe, and then they're like, oh, they get their nerve back and they try to shoot the second round and then bang, they blame it on the gun.
Or not.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you research it, that's the situation.
Barrel obstructions do have a habit of doing that.
Especially if you're a visual inspector.
No, maybe.
Yeah, you ever seen a Bugs Bunny cartoon? You just put your finger in there and then boom.
Duh.
Don't you just look down the barrel?
Here's a carrot.
And if it's a double barrel shotgun, you use 2 fingers.
Woo woo!
Yeah, 40 caliber is definitely something I don't want to mess with right now, at least not in lead bullets, until I have a little bit more experience and feel for it. Even though I don't even own a 40 caliber gun, so I don't have to worry about it. But
Hey, G-Web, so did you look for Stalingrad on Netflix?
No, I was doing all kinds of other shit today.
Like I said, I found the trailer on Redbox, and it said coming soon, so you can get it for $1 something pretty soon.
Is this something brand new or one of the older documentaries?
No, it's like Russia's Saving Private Ryan, all in Russian.
What is it?
It's called Stalingrad.
Oh, okay.
I watched about 2/3 of it and couldn't watch it anymore because the MG42s and the PPSHs in there were shooting so slow, it really bothered me.
I pulled it up on Netflix. It says unavailable to stream, but the title is available on DVD.
oh, that's lame.
Well, if you have a Netflix DVD account, it's not a problem.
Yeah, I don't have that because they doubled the price.
Yeah, I mean, I just have the streaming service.
Same here.
You know, and that is one thing about these chats. Every time I hear of a movie that might be out there, I always pull it up on Netflix.
I got the DVD because I like getting the movies that you can't get streaming all the time.
Yeah.
My dad paid it's on my dad's card for the Netflix, so he didn't want to pay for it. I think we used to have it for like a very short amount of time, and they changed it, and we canceled that part.
I just go to the barbershop and wait for Mr. Bootleg to walk through.
Have you guys used that Redbox service?
Yeah, I've used it before. It's nice.
I really like to get a Redbox movie right before I travel, and then I just think I get a kick out of like every time I go to Vegas, like, well, you know, get one here in Tucson and then drop it off in Vegas. I just think I don't know why I think that's awesome.
Do you have to pre-sign up for an account, or how does it work?
No, you just get a movie you put in your credit card, and then I guess they charge you $1 then, and then you take it home, and if you give it back the next day, that's all they charge you is $1.
Yep.
Like an extra $1.
But don't even pay the $1. You got to swipe your credit card, but then take your phone and search for Redbox codes, and then there's all kinds of coupon codes, and you can use like each code once. So, I mean, I must use 6 or 8 codes by now. And then if you try to use the same code on the same credit card, they'll go, oh no, you've already used this code. So if you've got a couple of credit cards or a friend or your wife or something, then you can sometimes get 2 or 3 rentals from the same code, as long as you got, you know, multiple cards to run through.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty decent. I've only ever had maybe 2 or 3 movies where like somebody like was eating peanut butter out with their fingers and like stuck it back in there and returned it.
I had a friend when I had a bad one, and basically he called them to replace it for it. They gave him a free rent for it.
Yeah, they're pretty good about it.
Yeah.
If you rent one from one of their vending boxes and it's not any good, are you supposed to like put a note on it before you put it back in the box, or how does that work?
I think you can.
I just put it back in, but I didn't think to call.
I'll have to ask my buddy. He had one basically didn't work on his machine. He either called or emailed, and they credited him for it. So they're pretty good about it. They didn't charge him for that one, and they credited him for another one.
And then if something happens, you don't return it. It's just like $1 a day, I think, until like 30 days, and then they just charge you $30 for the DVD, and you keep it.
I would put a note in the DVD saying this movie is great. The CD played awesome, even though it didn't even work. And like, you should keep renting this copy. Make sure you keep this copy in the box.
Well, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, it has a little barcode or something on the DVD, so if you accidentally put the wrong one in, it won't accept it, right?
Yeah, I had a friend of mine, the same friend, he got one. Basically, what they did was they took off the label and put it exactly right in the case.
Oh, with just like a blank CD or nothing?
Nothing in there. they got to like spot on perfect in the spot and replace it and sold the DVD. Yeah, it was kind of actually just cool just to see that, but kind of sucked.
G-Web,
you know what would suck is having the job of living in one of those machines and having to keep track of all the DVDs and pass them out, because most of them are like right in the sun.
Hey, have you seen Men in Black? They got the little alien guy with like 12 arms.
You should put an Every Second Matters business card in every movie that we take back. Redbox.
Take about 4 minutes for him to sue us. Like, what are you marketing in our machines? Here you go.
It's not me.
So.
And it would be like every dime counts for the lawyer's fees.
So I'm still thinking about this lead bullet thing. I've had plenty of people shoot the hard cast ones. They call them hard cast, which they buy them from the factory. No problem. So I'm thinking, I mean, if I get my bullets to the same quality as that, they would work fine with no leading. But I'm just not sure if I can do it. Let's see. How do you treat bullets? Have any of you guys ever shot hard cast bullets?
No, I've been wondering about the same thing, because I'm looking to get a lone wolf or something like that when I start reloading.
One of the guys that I shoot with, he's been shooting for a while, and he has a Glock. Both of them that I know of have a Glock 34, and they shoot lead, no problem, but they don't make their own bullets. They buy them.
I've been wondering about that. Because if anything, just.
And as far as I know, they're using stock barrels. I don't know what to ask him next time I see him.
Because you can always just if you just keep think about it, just run a bore snake through there every couple mags, and you might be okay with the stock.
Oh yeah, but I want to be able to shoot at least 400 or 500 rounds, no problems.
Right. Well, if you're shooting competition, it's a little different. Like I'm just out in the desert, getting some practice.
But I was talking to the guy at the gun shop, and when he picked up the gun, I was like, "So what do you think?" I'm like, because I'd heard about shooting lead bullets through the polygonal rifling and everything, and he's like, to be honest with you, back in the 90s, he's like, I had a Glock, I forget, 17, 19, something like that. He said, I shot thousands of lead bullets through it before I'd even heard that you weren't supposed to, whatever, and it was fine. Of course, I'm assuming those were all factory lead bullets, too. So, we'll just have to see.
Did it just go quiet on my end, or is...
It did.
There's just literally nothing else to talk about with lead bullets.
Oh, I have something to talk about. I made myself my own little stun gun today. Yeah, I made a stun gun today.
One of the ones you make out of like a disposable camera.
Nope, I didn't have a disposable camera, so...
I've seen those things around.
I did the next best
So what'd
thing.
you make it out of?
Ice water.
Oh.
You hear that?
What are you doing? You were doing that earlier, too. I hear it. What is that?
My stun gun.
He's slapping his junk with his electric fly swatter.
Alright, so you're going to shock yourself now and put it on camera? Because you said you...
Drag my chat.
Huh?
I want to make all the money from it, so I'm going to do it. Quark
Are you really?
teases himself.
When are you doing it? Because I want to see it.
Well, it'll be during my chat. So when do my chats happen?
Saturdays?
Really? Is it Saturdays? Well, that's when it'll happen.
Well, is this going to be a random chat, or is it going to be...
Well, of course, you're gonna have to stay all the way to the end of the chat to actually see me.
No, I'm saying, is it going to be this Saturday, or is it going to be just any Saturday in the near future?
It'll probably be this Saturday.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be there to watch that. Actually, I don't know, I may not be available Saturday. I'll have to watch it after the fact, but...
I mean, what was I going to do with 3 electronic fly swatters?
What's that?
So what else was I going to do with 3 electronic fly swatters? I used 1.
Don't you still have the deal going that whoever buys a stun gun and sends it to you, you will use it to shock yourself?
Well, nobody ever did that.
Man, didn't worry about money. Let's see, how much is this stun gun on Amazon? You can find cheap ones for like 20, 30 bucks, I think, $50.
You can get it for like $15. I was gonna get one for my girlfriend.
$24.98. This one looks pretty nice. Vipertech.
I think.
19.
I seen it on eBay for like $15 too. I'm not sure. I don't remember where I saw it. But
19 million volts. This one's only 15 million volts. It's only $10. $10.98 prime shipping. This one looks a little bit cooler though. It has a lanyard. That's why it's more probably.
You send me a link to that, or put a link to the chat box? So I'm looking to get one for my girlfriend or something.
Oh, here's one that's $25. I don't know, I just typed in stun gun on Amazon. That's what came up.
Hey, G-Webs, did you ever get a chance to watch that Jay-Z and Beyonce video that I sent you?
It's got like 4.5 stars.
When was that?
I sent it to you over the phone. The run one, the one where they're like the Bonnie and Clyde setup. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Oh, I think I've seen the one you sent me, but I don't know. I don't remember it that much.
This is the funniest review. It says, I really want to know what it feels like, so I tased myself in the leg. Blah, 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 blah. It left 2 welts where the prongs were, and there's a line of black and blue in between them. Don't be stupid. Don't tase yourself. It sucks. Well said.
Well, I could say this electronic fly swatter operates off of 2 D-cell batteries.
Oh, this guy's a jerk. Dropped my buddy to his knees with this. Pissed himself. Hilarious. I'm guessing his buddy had consent.
G-Web, so I wanted to know if the revolver that Beyonce has in this video is an anaconda or not.
Still waiting for my slow computer to come up.
Forgive me for being silent, so I'm sitting here eating some tilapia.
Nice.
I heard tilapia, what?
I'm not a cooker, but I do know how to bake tilapia.
My dad they just got back from a weekend fishing trip and they caught probably the biggest amberjack we ever caught. It's like 70-pound amberjack. I think it was huge.
Wow.
I don't know if anybody who knows what amberjack is, but typically when we catch them, like a good size one's like 30 or 40 pounds. This thing was massive. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, I can eat off that for a while.
Yeah, we vacuumed. Well, he went with his friend from work, and usually he goes so that they can catch fish. He doesn't. We just bring it back a little bit, but yeah, we vacuum sealed it today.
Oh yeah, I watched this. I thought it was a music video. I think when you first sent it to me, because I wasn't listening with the sound on.
It's actually well, it's funny because it's nothing really. So at the end, like it goes, because everyone thinks it's a movie, and at the end they just go, "Coming never." Now they do have a tour coming up that they just recently announced.
Oh, it's not even a movie?
No, so it's not a movie. It's not a promo for an album. They don't direct. The only thing that they really have coming up is a tour that they just announced. But this has nothing to do with their tour. So they made a gun video that's cool as hell for no fucking reason. That's the part that annoys everyone. And I was just about to type to you here that Colin Noor brought it up on the show, and I think he addressed it very well. So and that also leads me to believe that
well, there's DB. He can get on the phone, get Jay-Z on the phone, and then we can make this.
Yeah, you can get him on a hangout. But
that would be interesting.
But yeah, I mean, and because what? Like I sent you this like a week and a half ago maybe. So it also leads me to believe that they're not filming the his show way ahead of time. Because if he brought it up in the show, it's not more than 2 weeks old, that video.
Oh, dude, from the amount of feedback. Thanks. The amount of feedback that Noir has been doing, like about his show, and then the way that they changed it so much from 1 to 2, I didn't ever get the impression that it was pre-recorded. I got the impression that they're doing like in real time.
Really? I always thought that it was like recorded like at least a couple months ahead of time.
Oh no, I'm thinking hours ahead of when we see it. I mean, I think they post it pretty much when it happens. But I guess they really haven't talked about too much other stuff that's recent.
Yeah.
The ones I've seen either.
So that also lets me think that he's probably just filming it in Texas. I don't think he's flying to Virginia to record it at their headquarters. That would be dumb.
Yeah, I would assume they'd be doing it in Texas.
I've got a question on YouTube. When, like, you post a comment or something and you're still getting notifications on it, like, weeks later, because even though it's not relative to your comment you made on it, if you click mute or whatever on the notification, does that mean it keeps you from receiving the notifications for other people commenting?
When you mute something, it's supposed to silence everything that's attached to it.
Okay, good. I thought so. I used that the other day because I was still getting notifications from like a comment I made months ago. Because the argument started from my comment about something completely different from what I had made the original comment. It was so annoying.
Yeah, I usually don't like to mute anything, but when it becomes annoying or if it doesn't bring me peace, then it gotta go away.
Yep.
Hey, has anyone tried any of those, like the Blade Tech training barrels?
Yeah, I have a bunch of them.
Yeah, because I just got a sweet deal on one at, what was it? Shoot, what the hell was the place called? Gals or something like that. Had them on clearance for like $4.
Gals, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody hates them for whatever reason, because you gotta swap the barrel, I guess, but...
Oh, I don't care.
Seem to hate them.
It's so cheap than $45 for a freaking blue gun.
Oh yeah, it's way better. Plus you can reset by just jamming the little thing that sticks out. You jam it into a table on some guns, and it'll just reset it for you.
Right. And then you just same weight too. That's what I like about it.
So have any of you guys ever reloaded for 9mm?
No, but I want to learn as much as I can.
I've only reloaded real ammo.
What?
Yeah, I'm interested in reloading since I can't find the ammo I need locally.
Because I'm trying to figure out. I was asking G-Webs about this the other night, and he's never had an experience with it. Trying to get like lesser powered 9mm rounds to cycle. Like because I'm shooting the powder I'm using right now to test these lead bullets. Not only am I testing lead bullets, but I'm testing if the load works, so that whenever I get ready to make them, I can do a bunch of them at one time. And the powder is only a 1 grain variance. The minimum is like 3.5, and the maximum is like 4.4. So I've been working up like in 0.2 increments. And even like at 4 grains, I'm still it's not cycling at all. Not even getting stovepipes. They're just sitting in the chamber after they fire.
I haven't reloaded really anything.
So I don't know. I'm gonna probably step it up to 4.2 and then do some that are max loads and see how they compare. But even the ones I was shooting at 4 grains were nowhere near the felt power of the factory rounds. Of course, that data is also very toned down.
Move on from the damn reloading chat already. I can't tell, and it doesn't let me pause when she's got when she's ruining the crown or whatever, crane or whatever it is, when she slams the cylinder in. It won't let me pause there. But if you go to 211, just go figure out where they threw it out of the car and just go pick it up.
Oh yeah, at that mile marker.
Yeah, just kind of check out the bushes right around the 2:11. No, 2 minutes and 11 seconds into the video. They wipe the fingerprints off and throw it out of the car. So. I don't know. It really looks like a Taurus to me, but I guess it could be a Smith since Tauruses are rip-offs of Smiths. Oh, you're saying is it a Colt Anaconda? Shit.
Yeah.
We should be able to tell from the back of the thing. Let me look again. I'll just ask Beyonce next time she comes over.
But yeah, there was an MP5 in that video. What else was it? There was a bunch of guns in that video. I think they had an AR pistol in there too.
It's like a Bonnie and Clyde movie or something, it looks like.
Yeah, but if you watch it at the very end, it goes, coming never.
I really don't like watching videos like this that are just like rip-offs of my life.
Of your real life, of your real ninja life?
Exactly, it's too much like my lifestyle.
She has a drop leg thigh holster that attaches to her pantyhose.
Yeah, I like my chicks to wear a gun like that too.
With a garter belt? Yeah, so it's an MP5 that she's holding one-handed. All right, if you go to 20 seconds, like when she slams.
Yeah, when she's when she's aiming right at the camera, I've gotten it to pause there without problem somehow, every single time. But if I try play pause. They need to have a thing where you use the left and right arrow to search through a video. That'd be cool, frame by frame. Oh, okay, yeah. It's totally either a Smith or a Taurus. I got it to pause at the 20-second mark. It's not super clear, but I'll make a screenshot here.
And if you watch her shoot that MP5 single-handed, there's no motion on that thing. It looks more like a 22.
It's only 9mm though, and they shoot pretty high cyclic rate.
Which means it should be pointed at the sky by the time she's done.
No, well, one-handed. Not really. mean, they definitely don't climb like a Glock. I'm trying to think of the last time I shot one. I don't know if I've ever actually shot one one-handed.
What video?
I've shot them two-handed, and it's pretty easy to keep an H&K right where you want it.
What video?
They're heavy.
We're looking at the run video.
Yeah, the run video.
Yeah, I can put it like this. I can see the. I have it paused at the 20-second mark, and it has.
They could have just called it like G-Webs on a Thursday night, but instead they called it the Beyonce and Jay-Z Run movie trailer release.
Yeah, because you slammed the cylinder closed like that on top of a hood of a car.
I don't care. I teach my women to do it that way because that way they don't have to use two hands. They keep their other hand busy where it's supposed to be.
No, but I got to pause there. Yeah, you can tell by the cylinder release, it's definitely not a Colt. The rear sight.
Right, and I don't think it's Smith either because it looks all like that goofy looking thing that a Taurus puts on there. Plus,
what are you talking about? Like the little slots on the top? What are those slots on the top called? Was it called ribbing?
Ventilated rib. You can have a rib, and then that's a ventilated rib. It's got a full under lug, which kind of makes it look like an Anaconda, but it's got adjustable target sights, and I don't think Anacondas have that, right?
But the Anacondas do have that vented rib look. I know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, what makes an Anaconda, like, because most Smiths have a rib, ventilated rib even, but they don't always have that full under lug. That's where they're definitely trying to make it look like it. Plus, you're paused at the 20-second mark. Look at how effed up the trigger guard looks. It looks all weird, like somebody dropped it a bunch of times. It might be a fake gun.
It does look super small.
Well, it looks like somebody dropped it, like dented the one curve part up the wrong way. I'll try to make a screenshot so everybody can see what we're talking about.
Hey, no, but she is practicing firearm safety because her finger is definitely out of the trigger.
True.
All right, let me see what other guns I can find in this video. Okay, I saw some ARs on the table.
The part where I knew they were ripping off my life is when she's swimming in that pool with all the cash. I was like, dang it. Will they just like watch my Instagram feed or something?
You rolling in it.
Well, you know who I unsubbed from today on Instagram? I fucking did it. Dan Blitzerian. Fuck that bastard. He didn't even do one thing about Memorial Day. He's over there in Monte Carlo doing coke off of whores or whatever. And I'm like, screw him. He made all his money here, and now he's going to go on Memorial Day and not even do like anything. F him.
Oh, I thought he was your first victim to your American flag.
Dude, you know what? I felt like a nag and shit because I feel like a nag saying to people like, why don't you quit wiping your guns on my flag, right? But the one guy was like, that was the most blatant about it. Like he did like 6 or 8 Glock pictures like that. I was like, U.S. flag code, look it up. Or no, I was actually kind of more rude than that. But anyway, I ended up with like, U.S. flag code, look it up. And anyway, he was like, dude, I'm totally sorry. I had no idea. I'm going to delete those videos or those pictures, and I won't do that anymore because I didn't know I was being disrespectful. So I kind of feel good. And then another guy I was like, had earlier said something to, he was the same way. He's like, oh, damn, dude, I didn't realize. So kind of feel good now that I was a dick.
It's good. All right. Is this a Glock at 56 seconds? It looks like it, but the sights in the rear stick up.
I still haven't done my screenshot. Hold on. Okay, now I push the print screen button. Hold on.
Oh, I can ask this question in here. Oh, a quick question.
What's up?
Is Kydex just a cheap form of plastic?
Not really a cheap form.
It's not cheap. It's just a type of plastic.
It's just a. It's
like most airplanes are made out of, like their interiors made out of Kydex, and like the bathrooms, places were made out of Kydex. All kinds of stuff's made out of Kydex.
What is it? Easier to use than polyethylene?
It's
different properties, but
it's easier. It's more of a sheet form. It usually comes in a sheet form. It's easier to mold opposed to.
It'll keep its shape and then be super resilient.
Okay. I've never had a holster made out. Well, I only had 3 holsters.
Rose McGowan has a Beretta, it looks like.
Oh, she's in here too?
Yeah, minute 101. And she has she's playing the cop, so her finger's definitely in the trigger.
Oh, she's the prostitute cop? I thought that was a different chick.
She's just a cop.
Oh, really? Most cops run around with like prostitute hairdos and all kinds of lipstick on?
Well, you know, sometimes they go undercover.
Yeah, they're like, I'm going to go undercover with my cop uniform on. I'm just going to put prostitute hair on.
She had just left my house that morning, and she was going to go film this. You know what I'm saying? So no time to take off the makeup. All right, let's see what else is out here. Yeah, so she got a Beretta. Oh, dude, she's shooting that thing. That Beretta looks so big in her hand.
Let me see if I can follow along.
No, it's Emily Rosenbaum or whatever. That's the big titty girl from what is it, Two Girls or whatever? Oh my God, no.
I've never seen that show. I've just seen the ads for it.
Yeah, about like the two waitress girls. You know, the one that has the big chest and like, you know, the big eyes and the big lips.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Emily Rosenbaum. Well, here, check out the link. You'll see her. She comes on at like a 101.
Dang it! I had it all paused at 20 seconds or something, or I guess like 20 and point something, and then I clicked the dang button to let it go, and then it went into like perfect crisp focus, but I couldn't get it to pause fast enough. So maybe 21 seconds would be the perfect spot to pause on that revolver.
Should just call Taurus and ask them if they provided
not bad.
Oh, okay. At 22 seconds, I got it to pause on the bed, and they've got an AR.
Yeah, I couldn't get that one.
Charging handle that's, and then what is this gun? Like a high point, or it's a BB gun with a pump forearm. It looks like. And then it might be a 1911 and a Desert Eagle and the old Smith & Wesson 22 or something.
All right, at 158, it looks like Jay-Z walks in with the Marine, you know, like that titanium-looking color 590A1 with a pistol grip, and Beyonce got something in her hand. Okay, I can't tell.
At where?
At a minute like 56, when they walk into the bank. I use my space bar to pause. I seem to get it a lot quicker than trying to just use the mouse clicker pad.
Well, mine is already paused. I just drag the thing, and it gives me the seconds, and I stop on the second that you quote.
Oh, really? Well, let me try that then. I didn't know spacebar paused it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, spacebar do two things. It'll either pause the video or scroll down to the comments.
But you gotta play. You gotta pause the video by clicking inside the video first. Like you got to activate all your buttons.
Maybe that's why sometimes when I hit the spacebar, it go down to the comments.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, you gotta have that set selected.
Yeah, you gotta play, pause.
Oh, dude, yeah, the pause button lets you way faster than a mouse for like play, pause, play, pause, play, pause, play, pause.
Yeah.
You know, that MP5K is fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, but she a little bitch, and I know she ain't shooting it like that.
And it is
got a lot of hand strength. So what were you saying in 56? Who's carrying what?
All right,
carrying?
There is something at 56. Hold on, let me go back. Yeah, so what is she carrying like at 56 seconds? Because it's too blurry. It's too clear on her face, and I can't tell what she's carrying. But that same gun that she has there, I'm assuming, is the same one at 156. Go to a minute 57 actually, minute 58, and Jay-Z walks in with the 590 A1 Marine Tactical, like with like that titanium finish, and she has a pistol in her hand that doesn't look like a Glock anymore.
56. That's a 1911.
Bushing in the front looks like a 1911. Yeah.
I've never seen that Marine 590 A1 in a pistol grip configuration only.
The shotgun that he has, it looks like a 20 gauge or something weird.
Oh, I saw.
Too narrow.
I saw exactly what bush he threw the gun out at 212.
Why don't I just screen share this shit since nobody else? Or are you guys screen sharing?
I put the link in there.
What screen share?
What was she shooting? Right? Was that the MP5 she was shooting again?
What time are we talking?
What is she shooting at 225? Because that's not an MP5, I don't think.
225.
It's really dark. 225.
Let me go back to that so I can follow along. 225.
That HK something.
It almost looks like an A12, an AA12.
Nah, that's a
I know it's not an
Well,
AA12.
it's definitely an 8012. It's an HK. It's obvious.
Yeah,
I'm positive 225.
Yeah, that's an HK something. I'm trying to catch the flash.
Oh yeah, just right after where Girk's at. When that flash happens, it's a 225 for me. Yeah, right there. Look at the magazine. It's a 9mm H&K with a stock. It's got a nice rack behind it.
That fireball is fake.
I don't know. Because it lights up her boobs and everything.
No, they're doing something.
But it is definitely pretty long for a 9mm. There's no way a 9mm.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been some recoil after that. Look. It doesn't move.
That's true. Yeah, it doesn't even move. That's all fake.
Is that her shoulder or her boob?
Oh, where I'm at, it's got her hair with a pretty nice cleavage shot in between it. Mine says it's a 225.
There's a boob right there, man.
Yeah.
But that's
hair. Enhance that boob area, please, Girk.
You gotta get that cursor with like the highlighted circle around it, so you can
enhance and zoom.
To zoom in, I forgot what it was. What's the command on Max to zoom in?
Okay, hey Girk, go to 6 seconds.
All right, hold on.
That.
Oh, that's a Mossberg 500.
Cruiser. Looks like a cruiser.
Yeah. But in that finish, I never see him in that finish.
The maritime finish.
I thought you only got that on the 598 one though.
Nah, they came in like those little kits with in the little floatable case. Yeah, that's the maritime.
Look at all the trigger discipline in this video. Dang. And they're not even. We don't even think they're real guns, right? Or at least they're not shooting them.
Yeah, that's rare.
I want to catch that scene on the bed. All right. Yeah. So what is? All right. So there's 3 handguns. An AR.
Yeah, dude, that's an Anaconda, man. I don't know if you already.
No, it ain't. We already found out it ain't. Look, you got it perfect right there. Look at the way it pushes forward. A Colt pulls back.
Yeah, Colt pulls back.
Well, Yankee's in here. You in here, Yankee?
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Here is.
In here.
What?
Okay. What gun is this revolver that's on Girk's screen? Out of this video.
Green's Girk.
I'm thinking it's a Taurus, not a Smith.
B.
Good lord! It looks like the top looks like a. That's a Smith thumb release.
You think it is?
Well, the thumb release is Smith.
Well, you know more than me. I thought it was a Taurus style.
It's hard to tell, and that it could be a Taurus one because the hammer is definitely not Smith, and the top looks like a Ruger.
Oh, it changed, but the grip looked a little goofy to me too. Now that I'm looking at it, it almost looked like look. Isn't that a Taurus little emblem at the bottom of the grip? Smith don't do that.
No,
oh no, maybe it's just a. No, it doesn't look like it.
Look, yeah, I mean, like there's a little emblem right there. I can see the emblem.
If that's really an emblem and not just a splash, then that's the Taurus emblem, I think, because they do that on their grips.
Well, that hammer is definitely Taurus looking.
But it doesn't look like there's an emblem on this shot. I think that might just be.
Like the raging.
I am gonna clown Jay-Z so bad the next time I see him and tell him, ha ha ha, you had a Taurus in your video, idiot.
Hey, this the bed scene right here you're talking about, right?
But
right on my Instagram.
Right so there's an AR-15. I want to know what those 3 handguns are. I can't tell.
I want to know what they're doing that they need all that plastic over the bed.
Beretta. Goes back to it.
Plastic.
That one up there to the right looks like a Ruger.
What's this in front? What's this like the rifle in the very front?
I found it, and you ain't gonna be making fun of him because that's a Korth revolver.
Korth? Seriously? You got a picture?
What? A what?
Hold on. Let me get a picture of one up.
How much is it? What's MSRP on it?
If I can find a picture.
Oh, quartz aren't cheap.
Oh, no.
God, no shit.
That ribbing at the top definitely wasn't Ruger. I mean, definitely wasn't
Smith.
wasn't Taurus.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I can get this that'll actually show up on my screen. It's very small. Is that showing up?
Not yet. Yeah, now it is.
Hey, you're telling everybody our secrets in the internal chat.
I think that's what you're looking at right there. It looks like.
But that one doesn't even have like the release button on it.
Yeah,
It looks like a Korth barrel. So I'm wondering if maybe, and it's a Korth hammer. So I wonder
It
if
could be a prop gun.
They probably, what they've done is they've cobbled together the body of one gun, the barrel of another. So they do that all the freaking time. They just weld them together.
Yeah, so Hollywood Armor.
Or maybe they just took it and let me go back. Keep that image up. I'm gonna go back, Yankee. Hold on.
Yeah, but look at the front sight. On the one in the video, there's like a massive dovetail and like a plastic front sight. That's one of the things that made me think Taurus.
Let me see the picture.
See, look.
I don't even know what video y'all are looking at here.
This is a new
This is a
Jay-Z
Beyonce kind of a free mode or a trailer to a movie that doesn't exist. But look at the front sight on that. It looks like a big plastic Taurus dovetail. Doesn't it?
But, and the rear sight actually looks kind of hollow in the back.
If you go back,
Well, that's the blade in an adjustable rear
side,
sight.
it's like black in the middle, but it's silver around it. And when you go here, see how it's silver in the front?
Oh, I keep losing the picture here.
It's on Gertz.
Not on the screen.
It looks to me like a, it looks to me like a cobbled together gun. That is a
what's
Taurus,
going on?
That is a Taurus slide release. If you go to this, I mean not slide release, cylinder release. Let's see, let's go to
That's
Taurus.
what I thought, because the Smith looks a little different.
Well, now at that little angle there, you can see how it's rounded off.
But even that Korth trigger guard looks slightly different than what's in that video.
We bump it up to
It's 100% possible. This is just something that they make for movie props, though. You know, that just works like a gun.
Well, that's unless it's a tracker. Hold on a second. Let's find a picture of a tracker.
No, I don't think it's that important.
That side.
Then why'd you get in the chat then?
I don't know, because I wanted to see what we're talking about. Turns out we're talking about some video for a non-existent movie.
All right, how about this one?
It's got guns in it.
No, that's not.
That's true. It does have guns in it.
Look,
not the tracker.
Oh wait, what did who had what up? It's that one. It's whatever.
Not quite right. It's not quite
it's
right.
not that one. It's not that one. Look
Nope, it's not.
Look at the spacing in between.
I'm pretty sure it's a cobbled together gun. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that ventilator rim is
bunch
nowhere
of
close.
elements.
Yeah.
Geez, go figure a bunch of Hollywood people would have a cobbled together gun in a video.
Well, it's
that
probably
exists.
something that can throw a bunch of flame out when they shoot it or something, maybe.
Yeah.
You do that all the time.
Because
Their
it looks
armor
like
stuff.
But it looks like they CGI. There's like no recoil. We've already seen there's like no recoil when they shoot full auto in this video.
There's 4 slots in the top, right?
Well, they're just really well trained.
Long and like skinny.
Yeah, there's 4, but they take the whole length of the barrel. Yeah.
I think it's a cobbled together gun.
Right.
More than likely.
But this gun on the bed, on the bottom of the bed, that's some type of shotgun right there. Right?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Does not a high point? Because there's some big long flat.
Nah,
Is that a handguard?
Man. Some type of shotgun. It's kind of like a stock coming off the back, maybe. Oh shit! I went too. Well, this is a good picture.
That's about as best good a picture you can get of it.
Yeah.
No, that's a prostitute.
No, that's another picture of the revolver right there. Actually, there's an even better picture at the end. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good one.
Nah, it's an even better one. Hold on.
Wait, where was the picture?
When he's like in the desert.
I'm locked on BGurk, but I just see like a music video or something.
That is what you,
pausing it and seeing the different stills.
That's BGurk's life.
It's not really a music video. It's sort of like a trailer to a movie, but they're not really making a movie. They just, they're famous, so they got a bunch of actors to make it seem like a trailer, but it's not really going to be a movie, I guess.
And the worst part
it's
is
pretty
that
good. It's like a Bonnie and Clyde movie with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But see, like I think that's even worse because honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like if they were making a movie, okay, you say, okay, well these guys are famous, they're doing this for the money, they're making a movie. Great,
There's the
let them make a
prostitute
movie.
cop.
Oh, Emily Rosen, she's tight. But the whole point is that
What did she have there?
she had a Beretta.
Pretty much a Beretta.
Beretta or a Taurus?
Yeah, what female cop would have her hair loose like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And like all that lipstick on. Like just in case I want to date the perp.
She just left my house, bro. She told me she had to go go to do a movie shoot.
So what other things is that actress in? Just that one TV show?
I think she's in a couple of other things, but like her TV show's like her main / biggest gig that she has going on right now.
Oh, okay.
He's like super skanky hot in that show, and she's like bad.
Oh yeah, she's tight.
I'll get her.
You keep saying they're tight. Does that mean you've actually had Congress with her? Because otherwise, how would you know?
See, Bob, I just don't.
Tight is good.
Bob had to go straight to vulgar.
No, I just don't understand what the tight thing is. Maybe I'm a little behind on the.
Bob, you're
lingo.
Her style is tight. She's awesome.
Oh, okay.
See, Marco.
not that type of thing, metalhead.
But yeah, it's just like you're talking about different kind of.
I don't think you get a clean shot.
All right, so what's that in her? So that was a 19.
That I think looks like a 1911 barrel bushing, but you don't really get a good shot of it.
Could it be a Browning? Could it be a Browning High Power?
What year are those cop cars? I'm thinking
It's not a Browning High Power.
It's like 2005 to 2009.
All right, pay attention to what bush she throws the gun away in.
Oh shit! It had a real hole in the barrel. It wasn't, like a blocked off barrel or anything.
Let's see the picture of the gun again.
Go back to the beginning.
I'm getting to it.
No, how many
show it to the end.
actors are actually pro-gun?
None of them. They're all.
Yeah, that's sort of the point that he first showed it to me. It's like a bunch of these people are exploiting guns, making money off them, but then they'll all go and make some stupid ass video where we shouldn't own them.
Yes, Beyonce was in the Demand a Plan.
Yeah, the one where they all have.
No, but check this out. So
guns are outlawed. Only Beyonce will have guns.
We'll put it like this. This 2-minute trailer cost them some serious money to actually make. They're not even making the movie. It's not about an album that's coming out. Yes, they are going on tour, but it's not even about their tour. So they spent all this money to make an action trailer full of people that are anti-gun for no fucking reason for a movie that's not even coming out.
It's so they could have a chance to play with guns.
Yeah, so they can feel like they're experienced with guns. And why are there dollar bills there? What's up with that?
Dollar bills.
This is how rich people go on range trips. They just make gun action movies and they don't actually go to the range. They just make movies.
That's like a cowboy action, single action
picture of that gun.
Hey, Gert, show them the joint.
That's definitely a single action.
Yeah, man. If I had a chance to do that, I'd make a western.
Bob's gonna think it's a fucking high power. Why even show them? Look at that. Is that the same gun?
No.
Yeah.
No, that's the same gun. That's a double action of some kind, but that don't look real.
Is those underboobs? Oh no, it's her ribs.
A slight underboob on the right one.
I think it's the same gun.
It is the same gun.
Yeah.
Really? That's a made-up gun.
Just holding it in almost the most awkward way you could hold a revolver ever.
No, made-up gun, Bob. You don't know every gun that ever existed.
Sure I do.
It's coming up, Yankee.
I'm old.
It's either a Glock, a high power, or some made-up gun.
I was around when they first came out, man.
All right, here it is, Yankee.
There we go.
I don't know about them plastic guns.
Damn, is that because you're on a Macintosh you can get it to pause like that so easily?
No, I'm just tapping the spacebar really fast. Twice.
Yeah.
He's got fast fingers, he's telling you.
You can play a video frame by frame like that. Just tap.
Yeah, go back there.
I don't see it anymore.
I can't on not in YouTube off my computer.
I mean, if my connection's
Okay, now there you go.
usually I have no problem doing it.
Yeah, I can't find any gun that matches it perfectly. But the closest thing I can find would be just knowing what I know about the something like this one right here. But they used to make it a longer barrel.
Yeah. I mean, it possibly could be that. That's what it looks like. Just
That
a
looks
different,
like it, but it was just longer barrel. Yeah.
yeah, longer barrel, different grip.
That's even worse than a Taurus. That's a Rossi.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you know what? That's it right there, man. That's it. The cylinder release is a little different, but that's it. Just has a different grip.
No, I think it's the same because it's just the one in Yankee's picture just doesn't have the contrast, but that the rear sight looks right, the proportion of the cylinder frame.
Right.
So it is a real gun.
But I get if the
It's a
longer
Rossi.
version has longer like slits in the top, it's the same.
Yeah. Well, that would make sense. They add an inch, they add a slot, and then they would have to drop down the front sight.
Well, this one in the picture looks more like a 3-inch barrel or a 4-inch, and the one in the video looks more like a 6 to an 8-inch barrel.
8-inch, yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
saw it on the 8-inch.
according to Palmetto on the gun channels, it looks like a Taurus Tracker 44 Magnum.
Doesn't look like a tracker. Well, it does look sort of like a tracker,
Well,
but
we
it's
held it
not-
up, or Yankee had a picture of a tracker up before.
That's not a Taurus slide release. You see how the slide release like bolt down at the front? A Taurus slide release.
Because the slots in it aren't the same.
Well, a Taurus cylinder release is more triangular than that one.
I see.
You can say sliders.
Cylinder release is more triangular than that.
Slide release.
What? Cylinder release?
Cylinder release.
Look up a picture of a Taurus and you'll see their cylinder release is very noticeable. You can tell what their cylinder release looks like.
What kind of leather jacket is that?
Definitely a motorcycle jacket.
That's a dope jacket. I'm just saying.
Hey Bob, check out the link I posted on the side.
Oh, cigar. Okay. What kind of $100 bill is that?
Those are the new ones.
Yeah.
Obama bill.
Yeah, but look at that. There's like there's at least a couple of stacks of singles in there. What's that?
Those are the new ones.
Money.
Maybe
I
that's
could put a decent stock on that. Well, $20 isn't bad for the magazines either. Look at all the bayonets. Cool, Chris.
So it looks like that. Yeah, the ones in the movies are pretty much a Hollywood Armor's little creation there.
Oh well, they do that, eh? I mean.
Oh yeah, shoot, gun makers, like small gun makers, like say for example, Red Jacket would make guns for movies. You know, they would just strip apart a gun and make it look cool. You know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't have sights. Doesn't matter if it's impractical.
Doesn't matter if it shoots.
Hey Yankee, what model Rossi was that you showed?
I don't even remember. An old discontinued model of Rossi.
And that's what those guys will do, is they'll buy a bunch of old guns, and then you can kind of add parts together, and they'll work and look cool. Like Star Wars and the Mauser.
C96 Mauser, yeah.
Tim is asking who likes Sean Penn. I'm not a big fan of his. Ever since My Bodyguard or whatever that movie was back a long time ago, I never liked him.
I've never liked him really, and I can't think of anything I ever liked him. I didn't like him in Fast Times at Ridgemont High even.
I liked Taps, and he was in that movie, right?
I didn't like.
Oh yeah, he was in Fast Times. I guess I like that movie.
I didn't like him when he came out supporting the Venezuelan president Chavez.
Okay, guys, I'm about to go. Somebody else want to hop in. I'll let them take my spot.
All right, bro.
But I'll catch y'all later.
Take it, Tony.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, G-Webs, I have a question for you. What do you think of that? I posted that thing on the side there from Newegg. What do you think of that thing? Now there is that's for a 223, but there's a SKS 8K version of that.
I don't go for those things. They're the sucker bet because you can only put them in 180 from each other. So, okay, let's say it's not quite right. Well, now you have to go 180, so you have to screw that thing down again. You know, it's
True.
I don't unless it's the kind that has a set screw and stuff. And then you run into like, why do you want a set screw on your front sight? It's kind of a critical part. Usually people want. This is a front sight, right? Yeah, most people want like a nice little tight blade up there. You know, if anything, people don't even like the flat sides of a standard AR style front sight. You know, they want to taper that down. So I understand why they make stuff like this, but I would never buy it.
Nope.
Never.
Yeah, it's a thought.
Imagine trying to focus on that crosshairs from the back of a gun. I mean, are you talking about for your PAP pistol?
Yeah.
At least it's closer to your face, but still, that's focusing on your rear sight, and then on that little tiny crosshairs way up there. I think that'd be pretty tough unless you got really, really good eye.
You know what what they call this? It's got a way to we could make it more like because one of my biggest problems with the com block style sights is the vertical. You know, it's hard to focus on the vertical. With that, I can focus vertical and horizontal a little bit better. Because there's no.
You don't have the trident at the end?
Huh?
Well, my AK has a trident at the end.
Trident?
Yeah, 3-pronged fork, whatever you want to call it. That's
Well,
trident.
he's saying the shrouded post is what it is.
Oh, I do, but it's yeah.
Well, I think the circle helps you find the center. Is all I'm saying.
Well, it is, but it's not like on a peep AR peep site where there's the wings kind of if you put the wings on the borders of the ghost sight, that's where I can get up and down. That's where I can get it centered. But on an AK SKS, it's just no it's just flat. You gotta line up that little tiny front sight with the sides of the rear sight.
You could do what I did with my cowboy gun and take a dagger under to the V in the rear, make it huge.
I could do that. Yes, but I don't want to lose.
I don't know how much accuracy you lose on an SKS. I'm not shooting anything past 15 yards, 20 yards. So
on SKS is my designated marksman rifle. I have a scope on that. So, but that's my 200 yarder plus. I finally got that thing to shoot like 200, 300 yards on steel.
Well, let's start talking about reloading again.
Okay. I don't reload.
Now let's really get into casting.
Exact hard casting, soft casting. I go for the medium casting.
Let's really get into which barrels to buy.
Very funny.
Okay, what did I miss earlier? My phone was dead earlier.
Well, no, we just spent like. Well, I don't know. We were talking about that before, and then we started talking about the Beyonce video.
Yeah, just cut me off.
Yeah, and then Chris tried to put it back on the guns, but
So you guys, did anybody do anything cool for Memorial?
Worked. I worked 10:30 to freaking 7 today instead of my usual late shift.
Only if it's cool to remember those who gave all.
That's what I'm saying. Did you go to the cemetery, pass out flags, or anything like that, or?
I had to work today.
I went out and punched hippies in the throat.
I ate flag decorated cookies.
Oh, well, I'm at work, so I slept half the day away.
Yeah, I actually refuse to work on. We have Remembrance Day. I guess it's like your Veterans Day.
It's kind of hard for me not to work today because, good Lord, they pay me enough.
Oh yeah, I know. They pay us like double time for it, but I just.
Oh, I'm double and a half. So this is like almost $60 an hour.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Kind of hard to say no.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know. I just my grandpa and my dad were just adamant that that's that one day that nobody should work and we should all just remember the veterans because they were both veterans, so.
This is the weekend that we started camping as a kid.
As
a kid growing up, this is the weekend we would always go camping.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, start the season of camping, I should say.
Yeah,
Because this, I think, like 2 weeks prior to this is when they actually push the snow off what's left of the high mountain stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember camping early, like this time of year, and it was like, yeah, some years it was good, other years it would snow.
Oh, it was always cold.
Nothing like being in a tent, with no heater. We used to actually heat rocks up.
That's what those little Coleman lanterns are for.
It's what you have now, yeah, but back in
when I was
a kid,
no, even the white gas
rock
ones. You pump them up and hang them off the center of the tent.
Yeah.
Those things put up a lot of heat.
I got a question. So, like, I've only been shooting for, 2.5 years, so I've technically only gone through 2 Memorial Days. But is Memorial Day, like, I don't know, kind of like Father's Day at the range? Like, is it forever packed? I haven't tried to go, so I wouldn't know.
Talking to a buddy of mine, Stark County was packed this morning, not so much this afternoon, but yeah.
Because I know Father's Day is like a dumb day to try to go shooting. It's like trying to get like a table at IHOP on like Mother's Day. It's dumb.
Good way to look at it. Yeah.
Not saying that it's dumb. Like it's dumb for you to try to go and expect to be able to shoot all day.
That's kind of funny because we ended up getting takeout for my Mother's Day this year. I wouldn't cook it.
Yeah, my kids are old enough now. I just made them cook. Come on, it's Mother's Day. It's your mother. Cook for her.
Well, I guess I did make breakfast, but anyway. Yeah.
Pretty much any holiday I get to make breakfast for some reason. I don't know why. Apparently I make better omelets.
That's a great preference, Steve.
So I screwed up my stock when I put the clear coat on it. I got orange peel all over it. I had to fucking sand it all down again.
Clear coat? Why clear coat?
Well, because I want it nice and shiny looking. Because it's a 30-06 Mauser.
Just use oil and just buff the shit out of it.
Yeah,
oil? I like that.
Yeah, tongue oil. Yeah, tongue oil. You're talking tongue oil. I want a really tough finish. Right? So it is going to be used for hunting, and it's not like uber fancy, lots of checkering or anything like that. It was like kind of a guide's gun.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, I just want to, leave. I left the scars in it. It's got a couple of scars in it, so I left those in it. But I just restained it nice dark walnut. Now I want to do a nice clear coat on it, and then I can sell it.
You're like, that's a job well done on this stock. I'm going to eat an orange to celebrate. Whoops.
No, orange peel, you get all those little bubbly, well, not like bubbles, but
that's
bumps.
Just for grip.
That's called stippling.
I built when I was in high school. I built sailboards for part-time work, and we used to use salt on the final coat across the top. Really? And then let the resin dry, and then just wash it off with water and rub it off with your hands, and you'd have a surfacing, something to grip onto.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So you're just stippling the wood is all.
No, I was actually I was so worried about getting runs in it. I was putting such light coats on that it just pebbled, and it just looked awful. So it's like, oh fuck.
Like so I did all I heard was she's getting the runs. What? I think I just
I didn't want to put it on so thick that it started to get runs in the finish, right? So I was putting it on really light, but unfortunately I got a little too light. Yeah, it's fucking foo-foo cans are a bitch. Some of them work real good, other ones don't. I've actually painted a car with foo-foo cans once. And a buddy of mine, he had a 66 Chevelle he wanted to paint black, so we sanded it down.
I'm assuming that means rattle can.
The username mean pointless. It shows up in other parts of the thing, just not what you guys are talking about.
Ooh.
What's that?
Oh, I'm addressing the side chat.
Oh.
Too lazy to type it though.
Oh, never mind.
Whoever left, thank you. I was just kidding in the chat.
That was Antonio. He's cool.
I'm just kidding.
He's in the East Coast, so you might believe it.
He's a Georgia, Atlanta.
I just call him Mini B Gurk.
Hey man, I'm light skinned.
There's that black racism coming out.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. You're talking to somebody who's freaking opaque. I've been working night for 12 years.
Hey, I'm a light skinned black guy. He's a black guy. He's like a dark skinned black guy. That's a difference.
Gurk's being all racist. I'm black, but I ain't that black.
Really now?
Nah, you guys haven't heard of Team Light Skin, Team Dark Skin?
I know, man. I know.
Gurk got a team, you ain't know?
They trying to mess us up, man. We trying to come back in style. They trying to hold us back. Team Light Skin.
Speaking of Stitches, did you guys see that he was Instagramming like, I'm going to send out stuff to my fans? You send me a DM or whatever they call it in Instagram. I did that and I didn't get nothing. What?
What is a DM?
Direct message.
Okay.
You need an Instagram account.
No, I don't.
But no, I got in there like twice. He was like, it was 6 minutes and then 9 minutes because I was checking Instagram. And the first time it was like 6 minutes after he posted. He said like, send me a DM or whatever and I will send out stuff to my thank you gifts to my fans or something. So I like texted him. You have to text him a picture because that's how stupid Instagram is. So I sent him a picture of my gold AK. And then he accepted it like a minute later, because it tells you when he accepts it or whatever.
You mean one of your gold AKs, right? One of your gold AKs?
The one that I take pictures of.
Okay.
And then there was another time, like hours later, and I'm like, is this the same one? And it was a separate one, and it says the same thing, like, or DM me or whatever, and I will give back to my fans or something. So, anyway. I didn't get nothing.
You gonna catch something
in the mail.
mail.
Something like it's white like mayo.
Yeah.
White like mayo.
Yeah, don't open it.
If you don't touch it,
Then I figured when he comes to collect, we'll get him in a live hangout.
Better have my money when it comes to collect.
You don't accept the package, he can't. They can't put you in jail, bro.
Why is this envelope soggy?
Is this flour? Somebody's about to bake cookies?
It's gonna be a brick. No, he's gonna send you the outline of his AK tattoo on the face.
What?
Have you seen how many people draw AKs on their face and stuff and put it on their Instagram and send it to them?
No, you're lying.
Oh, dude, tons of people. It's hilarious. It's all kinds of different, like, walks of life or whatever you'd want to call it, like different kinds of people.
Everyone's just clowning him.
Having fun along with them, I guess.
Do they also draw the stitches on their mouth, or just the AK?
Oh, yeah. No, except that, like, one guy stuck the AK in his forehead.
They what?
But they all got... One guy stuck the AK on his forehead, but they all put the stitches on their mouth.
That's funny.
And it's like a bunch of girls too. I've seen more girl ones. The only guy one actually I've seen is where he stuck the AK on his head, on his forehead.
I'm gonna do that and rock my tactical vest and go trick or treating. Because if I did that on a regular day, I would be arrested.
Be like, put some candy in my face.
Really, I don't think it's a good idea, Digital, if you go out trick or treating in a tactical vest with an AK, because they're going to shoot you down.
Give me an AK on my face.
Put like orange tape around the barrel, and then it's an airsoft gun.
Yeah. I really could do that with like a real one. And I would probably cock it right in front of them. I'd probably cock it right in front of them, make it sound super official, and then just be orange at the end.
He could actually do that on Halloween.
Did you see that Truth About Guns article?
No.
Gangbangers are starting to orange tip their guns to make the cops think they're freaking.
What?
That doesn't work because walking around even with an orange tip fucking real looking airsoft gun will still get you stopped by the police.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying that's what they're pulling. I don't remember where.
Didn't they shoot someone?
I only read about half the article.
In an airsoft.
Is it
like
legal
a
to orange tip your gun? Is it legal?
No.
So it's illegal for them to sell it without the orange tip.
No, but like if I just took my AR right now and sprayed orange shit on it, is that illegal?
No, you can spray any fucking color you want.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, that's just Duracoat. What are you talking about?
It wouldn't matter if it wasn't.
I still say if you do it, they'll shoot you.
Oh yeah, they definitely will.
Oh yeah. Cops
I would
be
expect
crazy,
that,
man.
yeah.
That would be funny. Like if I had a loaded mag and I just cocked it with like bullets coming out, dripping into my trick or treat bag. But then yet I got like this orange tip. That should be funny.
Yeah. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Straight to jail.
You're gonna be my girlfriend.
I'm in here for murder. I killed my mom. What are you in here for? Oh, I was trick or treating.
Against states' rights.
I'm in jail. I killed my mom. That's a good one, yeah.
I'd probably end up in Jessup.
Yeah, you probably.
That'd be horrible. Oh, hey, Girk. Hey, sorry to bring this up. This has nothing to do with anybody else. But there was a new episode of The Real Housewives of Benning Road.
Get the fuck out of here,
You don't watch that, Joe? That Joe was like, sorry. Hey, well, I'll talk to you about it later.
two of them.
I'll talk to you about it later. But yeah.
That's a Real Housewives of New Jersey?
No, like we have like this like really hood section of town that's called Benning Road, and these ratchet ass girls just made a complete flop mockery of it. It's funny. There's like baby mama drama. Somebody just got out of jail. Like it's like that type. Like they flipped it.
Yeah,
but
you can talk about that in the segregation chat that you guys
the one that we had going on.
When I got back to the computers, Girk and Prophet are over there in their own chat off air, and everybody else, like all the white people, are in the live chat. And I'm like, what's going on? They won't let like urbans into the main chat anymore.
It wasn't me.
Hey, anybody goes to like the Duffel blog? This shit is.
I think you just broke Bob.
That's not hard to do. Bob's been broken.
No, hey, sometimes if I get caught off guard and I try to laugh and breathe at the same time, it fucking near kills me.
It just doesn't work.
Not very well. Yeah, trying to exhale and inhale at the same time just is really fucked up.
Sounds like Mark's about to break.
It just makes me think of the forgot to breathe jokes.
I got to do a picture like that, Girk. I like that.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna use my shotgun.
We're getting the one where you're in uniform pointing at the camera with the M16.
I'm gonna use baby, my little shotgun.
I was not pointing at. Get this straight. I wasn't pointing at the camera. I was pointing at the guy behind the camera.
Oh, that makes
I'm
sense.
just gonna put my camera on a tripod, and that way there's no danger that I'll like shoot someone with my empty gun.
It wasn't loaded.
Speaking of uniforms, did anybody watch when Obama was over in Afghanistan, I guess? Shaking hands with it? Like he did a speech or whatever, and then he shook hands with everybody? Anybody see that?
I'd seen an article, but it didn't have any pictures.
The one where he was walking around the mall?
Yeah, what about it? I saw it.
I finally saw the video. I heard about it, and it was just on like Facebook or something, and everybody was like, I wouldn't shake his hand, or I bet you they had to be forced to, or like he's just looking for, what do they call that? Like,
publicity?
Well, like, I don't know, whatever they, just like photo ops, yeah, thanks. But I watched it, and it seemed like people were like falling over themselves to get a shake his hand or whatever. So I was just wondering if I was going to say people who were in service. We've got a couple of guys in here that have been, but even if you weren't, if you were at a speech or something, I mean, I don't know. I was thinking about it. Even if I didn't like the son of a bitch, I would still shake my president's hand if I had the opportunity. That seems like a pretty cool thing to do.
I don't think his name.
I would have shook George W.'s, and I thought he was a total idiot.
I don't think I could, because that would be like me shaking LeBron James's hand just because he's a great basketball player, and even though I hate, even though I really don't like the guy and I don't like anything.
Yeah, but he's still the president of the United States. I mean, like I say, I don't not like policy, but I would still fight for him. He is the president.
Like saying I don't want to salute a general.
You know, he's the president. I would give him the honor of his office.
Well, no, I know, but that you have to. But this was like after.
If he came up to me with his hand out, I'd shake it.
Well, they said that after the speech, he made a point of shaking everyone's hand who was at the speech.
And here's the thing: all the people that are in the minority that are, I hate the president, and I hate to break it to people, they're the minority.
Yep.
But the vast majority of people don't care and love their president and like their president and think he's doing the right thing. And because it's like, even when I make my videos, like say with the Bundy video, when all these people came on and go, you're 100% wrong, and yet my video still gets a 95% thumbs up rate. That just goes to show you that 5% of people who thought that they're 100% right, they think everyone thinks like they do. They don't. So it's just the minority thinking the majority thinks like them, and they don't.
Yeah, it sucks being in the minority. I know exactly what it feels like living here in Canada, because apparently I'm a redneck, and I'm in the minority.
Being one of the minority white people in Canada, you're saying?
You would be
Yeah, I mean I am, and it's not like I'm not racist. People think I am, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm just a little bit.
You can't say that without.
How many times do you say that? No, Bob.
I believe in capital punishment.
You got to listen to Bob accurately. He said people think I'm a
little bit. Put the son of a bitch to death and do it as painfully as possible.
But it's just like those people that, you know, really thought that millions of people were going to show up in Washington last week and take back the country because they really thought everybody thinks like we do and they want to show up and do this.
How many people actually showed up to that?
Like 30 or 40.
Yeah, it was like from like the biggest number I heard locally was like 200.
Yeah, that was the biggest estimate I saw was like 200.
No,
what they 235.
What I had a guy.
Really? And then the inauguration, but then they forget the same man drew millions of people on the plaza when he was being inaugurated. So
no, this is what happened. The people, they were taking pictures of like tour buses unloaded, and were like, even the kids came out. You know, they were like sicing the hell out of our numbers. It was like 30 or 40 people showed up.
Yeah, they were showing the tour buses of school kids that have been waiting.
Stupid because you can't just go. You can't just overthrow the government. It doesn't work that way.
Like when the Tea Party tried. Remember when the Tea Party released those pictures a long time ago? Like, we brought out millions to the Capitol and blah blah blah. And they released the pictures, and then it turned out all they had done was taken pictures from earlier in the day of the inauguration and then photoshopped signs, Tea Party signs, into it.
That's so cheesy.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, how's it going?
How's it going, Chris?
Okay,
Hey,
now
Ryan,
I'm
hey,
laughing
that
at your
picture.
fault. Shouldn't, because ours is just as stupid.
That was a funny video, Yankee. Centipede.
Oh my God! Yeah, I can't believe you're that scared of a freaking bug.
I don't like centipedes. I don't want them anywhere near me.
Why? They're a bug.
They're evil.
They're not fucking
You know what,
bugs.
Yankee?
Are you scared of bats too?
No, bats don't bother me. Anything I've caught bats with my bare hand when I'm out.
Bat isn't going to crawl into one of your orifices and then make them
Well, a
nest.
centipede isn't going to crawl into any of my orifices.
Spiders don't bother me either. I sit out here in my garage all day. I get spiders crawling up my leg all the time. They don't bother me. I'll just catch them and put them outside. But anything with 10 or more legs is the devil's work, and it should not be allowed to. Should not be tolerated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Hey, Yankee, you wouldn't be one of like my aunt back in the Philippines. We were in the we were in the den, and there was a hole in the ceiling, right? It's a good thing I was looking up. My aunt was sitting on the chair, and this centipede wiggled in from the ceiling and almost dropped onto her until I told her. I told her move, and then we killed it. It dropped where she was sitting
How
at.
big do they get in the Philippines?
Centipedes are my thing, and I just always hated them. And we go play. Like
Philippines are about a foot long.
Oh my God!
10 inches. This was 10 inches long.
There were such big centipedes down there in Central America and South America. I was just like, oh. And I knew this one guy. His thing was lizards, and I told the story I think before once. He was terrified of lizards. Even like a little gecko or a chameleon would scare him to death. Big black guy. But we were trying to see something across the river, and he went to climb up a tree to see what was going on across the river. We were hearing something from the west. So he goes climbing up the tree. I swear to God, he gets about 15 feet up in the tree, 15, 20 feet. and he just screams like a woman and then just falls backwards out of the tree. He had raised himself up onto a branch, and there had to be an iguana about 4 feet long sitting on the branch. So I mean, he just froze solid, like every part of his body just shut down, and he just fell from 20 feet in the air, just straight back onto his back into the bushes.
Yeah, I can't think of any creature. Like, I mean, some stuff I don't like. I'm not crazy about snakes, even though apparently I have one because my.
Don't bother me.
But
I love snakes.
you know, bugs. I mean, bugs are like, oh, I don't like them, but they're bugs. You squish them, they're dead.
Hey Bob, is that the SBT-40?
Yeah.
Fucking hate you, man. I just and I want one of them so bad now.
Oh man, you know what? That was $289, and
Yeah,
it's
don't
all
let him tell you the price.
obviously,
Oh,
like,
God,
you know,
here we go
the
again.
wall in World War
damn
II.
it.
But you know what, Bob?
Shoot's good though.
What's his name? Hickok 45 just did a video of that.
That's what I just said.
I'll check that out. Yeah, these things are great. I can't wait to get a Grand so I can compare them side by side. Just, you know,
What,
because
you've
they're
never even had a Grand?
as far as caliber and.
You've never even owned a Grand? Or seen a
No,
Grand?
I've never even owned one.
There's a massive difference, dude. Massive difference.
I just need one of
See,
those.
and that's what I want to see. I want to, like, I mean, I got the M14, but that's just not the same, right? Because it's a short barrel. It's you know,
No, it's
a
the same.
Chinese copy.
And it's about
well, I don't know about the Chinese
3
copy
pounds
part.
lighter.
But I mean, American or U.S. guns are made to the same level of quality, at least the Grand and the M1.
See, actually, that SVT-40 is not that heavy. It's fairly light, surprisingly enough. It's just fucking long.
No, it's night and day. That's like an SKS compared to a real gun. Well, they're different. They're loose tolerances, like an AK compared to an AR. They're different guns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's what I mean. I really, because I love shooting the M4. I've shot M14s before I bought this Norenko, and I love that ka-chunk chunk, and they're super good shooting guns. But, yeah, the SVT-40, man, there's recoil is so minimal. There's almost no recoil on it. It's honest to God, it's like shooting a 22 or something. It's just smooth.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not shooting you, man. I'm just saying.
Well, sure, the one gun
Who the fuck says this shit?
can't prove or disprove because they're damn expensive. Yeah, go ahead.
The
keep it
reason
up.
why it feels like a 22 is because Bob has a titanium
Well, okay,
shoulder
maybe it
that,
kicks
that
a
he
little
puts
more
his
than
rifle up to because he's acrobatic.
I guess the weather.
It kicks like a 223, right? It kicks like a gopher gun.
That's a gopher gun to you? The SVT-40 is a gopher gun to you now.
He has like 2 fucking.
I say it recoils like a gopher gun, right? It recoils like a Ruger Mini 14 or something like that. Something you'd use for varmints. But at the same time, it shoots a real caliber, you know, a 30 caliber bullet moving reasonably quickly.
I bet the recoil is like a. If it's soft, it's probably like a 308 at the least.
I got 308s, and
Is that a gas
softer
gun
than that.
or is that a recoil? Or,
I mean,
blowback?
that M14 I got, or that Norenko copy of the M14, it kicks like a bitch. I don't find it that pleasant to shoot.
Is it a piston gun or is it a gas gun?
Bob, is it
Gas
blowback or is it gas?
Which, the SVT?
Yeah.
Is a gas. It's a I think it's a delayed gas piston kind of thing. But it's got a gas.
How's it delay? Has
at
it got a
the front.
rotator like a G or a HK or?
It shoots like a 22.
Well, okay, 223 I'm at. You know, 22 rimfire doesn't recoil at all. 223 has got this little tiny push. And that's what it feels like. It's probably more of a push. I've got video of it, and you can
All
see
right.
that. You know,
This stuff's getting a little deep. I gotta go back to work. I forgot my waders.
See you later, man.
See you, Mac. Take it easy, man.
Hey, Bob, you should make your YouTube videos with your cell phone now. It's a way better camera than the shit you were using before.
Well, yeah, I know. You know what? I paid $29 for that camera, and I still have it. I still use it.
Okay, well, you use your iPhone. Trust me, it's better quality.
Oh, I know. I'd have to actually hook my iPhone up to a computer. I haven't done that yet. I've
Your
only
daughter
had
could
it
do
a
that
year.
for you. Your daughter could just dump your videos.
Download and upload it straight from the phone.
Yeah, you can go straight from your phone. You don't even need to touch a computer anymore.
And you can get
Unless
the
it's 2013 or something.
Yeah, but that would involve a lot of like little buttons or not little buttons, little virtual buttons on the screen, and lets looking at stuff.
Like a arrow you
Dropbox.
your video uploads.
It's just learning new things. I don't like to. I mean, I'm kind of running out of hard drive space personally. I got too much shit in my head now.
Just Dropbox makes it real easy.
I can't wait till I actually get the technology that you can, like, augment your memory.
I want a contour camera. I can mount it onto my Air Pro and fucking go hard. I'll make some badass videos.
Oh, I'd like to get one of those, what are they called, those ones you can snap on your helmet and shit like that?
Contours,
GoPros.
JVC.
GoPros, yeah, GoPro. Yeah, something like that would be a badass. Because, I might be doing stuff on my... Oh, actually, I don't do anything anymore that's interesting.
Yeah.
I need to get like one of those operator helmets that will fit that for going to the range.
Yeah, I need one of those too, man. Look at the Emerson is pretty nice, but they got better ones out, man.
Actually, I think I mentioned this before. You can actually take the liner from a hard hat that's got the ratcheting strap to tighten it, and just take the liner out of a hard hat, and you can mount a camera on it and shit.
And you know what, too? Another thing too is gun mount for GoPro.
Oh yeah. You know what I've seen the English guys do? They're doing varmint shooting. They're shooting rats and pigeons and shit like that. They put a camera behind their scope, and then they shoot through the camera. They use the view screen on the camera because it's lined up with the scope, and it's fucking really cool because it gives you this great view of the pigeon, and its head exploding and it falls down. It's really neat.
Yeah, plus they're just doing all air guns. There's no recoil to mess with.
Yep. Oh, exactly. Yeah. But their air guns are fucking pretty. They're like.
Oh yeah, the ones you see in the people you're hunting with in the UK, they're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, they're shooting 1,000 feet per second.
Oh yeah.
Plus, they're semi-autos.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just charge an air tank inside them. They're kind of like a paintball gun, I guess, but very small caliber and a lot of punch.
They take away your guns. Gotta make do with something.
Well, yeah, and you know what? Those things would still be lethal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's I guess you got to make do with what you got. Some people in England still are allowed guns, but very few.
Yeah.
And yet they're still having all these gun crimes. Go figure that out.
Really?
Apparently, it turns out criminals don't obey the law.
No. There's no such thing as gun crimes in England. Piers Morgan said so.
Yeah. Well, Piers Morgan. You know what? I wish I'd been Jeremy Clarkson. I would have done a lot more than just punch him once. There wouldn't have been any little tiny Piers Morgans ever.
Jeremy Clarkson is someone that I gun too.
Piers Morgan whipping your ass, Bob.
Right after I broke his knee.
Go to like a lot of different YouTube videos about gun rights, and you will see a British guy, somebody claiming to be British in there. Somebody claiming to be British in there, posting saying, "Well, in Britain, our crime is down so much since the ban." Oh God!
And that's the problem is you get somebody says something like that, and then other people hear it and they think, "Oh, well, that's the truth."
I actually wouldn't calculate.
Don't bother to look up the facts
on what the difference was between here and the UK. It's pretty phenomenal how different, how worse it actually is there, because people don't take into consideration their population is like a tenth of what it is here, if not less.
Yep.
And
their population is California.
Yeah, pretty much. And their actual whole percentage of violent crime is like 3 times more than it is here. I did all the calculations with the statistics. And I don't know what the hell I did with the paper for it. I'll flip for it.
So anyway.
But
what is this?
You just look at here, right? I mean the most atrocious mass murder ever to happen in Calgary, Alberta's history was a student at a party grabbed a kitchen knife and killed 5 people. Like
Nah,
in
see,
seconds.
I can use that.
Like basically in a couple of minutes.
Killed by-
This guy killed 5 people.
Video again and again and again on TV. They keep saying
What?
Whoa, what happened?
Someone's echoing really bad. I don't know what happened.
Yankee
There's
there.
there's probably more people killed by hitting moose in Canada.
Oh, in Canada? Yeah, there is. Yeah. I mean, smoking here is our big killer.
Yeah.
You
gotta
know,
keep
it's-
it now.
Yeah, you look at the numbers, and like, the gun crimes in Canada are almost non-existent, even though we do have a lot more guns than they say we do, because nobody registered them during the registry.
What, you know, we have the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They need to focus more on tobacco. That kills more people.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, when you think about it, it really does. And yet, you know, they've never once said we're going to outlaw tobacco because too many people smoked. I think it's coming though, because less and less people are smoking.
No,
And eventually they are going to outlaw it, and then it's going to become this craze, and then it's going to make a whole bunch of people really rich.
And a shitload of millionaires are going to say, fuck you. No, we're going to bribe the government to say smoking is good.
Well, at one point they did, and I mean, I think they still are in China, but at one point America was like, you know, no, they had doctors would come on cigarette ads. Winston's are healthier for you because we use a triple, you know, redundant growing process. Just ridiculous shit, right?
Yeah.
And like when I was a kid growing up, you would see, like, we would watch hockey, and the hockey players, when they would get off the ice for their, you know, break, when they the next line went out, right? The guys who would hit the bench would light up a cigarette, and they'd be smoking a cigarette, drinking some water. Well, you could imagine it was water, I suppose, but it wasn't. You know, smoking a cigarette, and then, oh yeah, my time to go. Throw their cigarette down, back out in the ice. Like, these were professional athletes, and baseball players, same thing. You see baseball players sitting in the bench, in the dugout smoking, you know, during a game, because it was, you know, smoking wasn't considered to be bad for your health.
I used to like to take a drink, smoke a cigarette, and beat my wife before I started playing.
There you
That
go.
was the style of the time.
The same thing they did back then is the same thing they still do nowadays. They just pay professionals to say something and they can't dispel the facts, so they try to just cast doubt. Like they paid people they paid millions of dollars for scientists for decades to say, well, there's not a proven link between cancer and smoking, when yes, there was, but they paid them to muddy the waters. It's the same thing they do with climate change now. It's like I always tell people, if you went to 9 doctors and they all told you need this surgery immediately or you're going to die, and then your insurance company said, well, we're not paying for it until you see our doctor, and then you went to their doctor and their doctor says, well, let's say you went to 19 doctors and they all said you have to have this surgery and you're going to die, and then you go to, they say, well, we're not going to pay for it just on the word of those 19 doctors, you got to go to our doctor. And you go to their doctor, the insurance company's doctor, and he doesn't even look at you and goes, nah, you don't need it, so we're not paying for it. That would be the same kind, and then you saying, oh, I guess I don't need it. That would be the same level of belief that you would have in believing people now that say that climate change might not be real. Because basically the only one saying it is that 1 out of 100 scientists that are on the payroll of the petroleum companies.
Well, I think the biggest problem with the climate change thing is they started out calling it global warming because there was a
No, the biggest problem with it is that the climate has changed throughout the entire history of the planet.
Exactly.
That's one of the things they throw in there to confuse people. Yes, it has, but never at anything close to the rate it's doing it now.
Yes.
Not even close. Geothermically speaking, this is the most accelerated speed of climate change that has been seen since we can drill as far down as we can drill and check sediment layers, etc. This is unprecedented in what's happening now, but they pay these few scientists to come out and muddy the waters. But if you were to sit and watch, say, just a scientific debate on climate change or
Did everyone else get booted out?
Yeah, but I couldn't go.
Yeah, I got booted out.
Yeah, we were telling the truth about climate change, so they booted it.
I want to hear this.
It was Marco's fault. You can only say so much bullshit in a chat and then it boils over.
But I mean, it's just the reality. If you were to sit down and watch, like, say, the National Science Institution's committee hearings on climate change, every one of them says, "Yep, real. Yep, real. Unprecedented. Unprecedented. Not natural. Not natural." And then you hear one scientist who was on the payroll of ExxonMobil go, "Well, we can't be 100% sure." Well, that's true. You can never be 100% sure of anything because we might be wrong about anything. We might be wrong about, that we're the only sentient life in the universe right now, or the solar system. Might be wrong about lots of things, but right now, all the evidence shows it's real, it's unprecedented, and it's happening at an alarming rate. I mean, even the one guy on Fox News the other day finally admitted that it's happening. It's undeniable now.
Yep.
We've passed that point of no return. Every reputable scientist says we're past the point of return. You cannot claim it's not happening now. It's already happened. So.
Yep.
However, we have to look at the fact that at the same time our sun is now producing less energy. It may be that we were heading for a global.
No, doesn't count, Bob. The sun is no match for the amount of oil that we've.
Our environment. It doesn't change.
In
our environment has changed. It doesn't.
No. But I mean,
it's just a nuclear furnace that's larger than almost every planet put together, or whatever. But
right now, we're supposed to be in a global or in a solar maximum, right, with the most solar flares and blah 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 blah, and instead it's being very feeble and putting out very little energy compared to what it should be doing.
What's the thermodynamic yield of the sun right now, and how much has it decreased in the last 5 years?
I don't have those figures at hand.
Decreased. You are using a completely unsubstantiated number of we're supposed to have this many solar flares and trying to use that to imply that the sun is putting out less energy. It is not. So
yes and no. I mean, it isn't in the sense that it's putting out less thermal. I think what they're talking about is it's putting out less solar flares, which means that our magnetic field is starting to fade. Right? That's why a lot of stuff's happening.
You're listening to too much tinfoil hat crap.
I don't know, man. You got to look into it yourself. I think if, because I haven't just listened to one or two things. I've listened to a couple of different things, and
they just did a special on the Cosmos theory the other day that dealt with solar flares.
Yeah, the guy who's getting paid by the people who are pro climate change is pro climate change. Amazing.
Who's pro climate change? Who's going to profit off of stating there's climate change?
The people that speak about how climate's changing and it's our fault.
I actually like the idea of climate change.
Paid to do this, and they're not getting paid huge money by any.
Their entire career is based on it. Their pride and their paycheck.
The disingenuousness that it would take to say that when the oil companies are the biggest corporation in the world and paying scientists to say things and try to pretend that it's the same on the other side. That's dishonest, even.
So explain Venus.
I believe it's summertime.
Massive methane volcanoes pouring out of Venus all the time, but the amount of stuff that we've done in the last, 80 years because of cars has changed the planet.
Habitable?
It's twice the size of Venus.
Is Venus habitable?
Who cares if Venus is habitable? Explain the methane volcanoes on Venus.
If you're trying to compare the two things, you'd have to explain why Venus's environment is similar to ours and try to draw some correlation.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
What's the correlation you're trying to draw?
That planets are massive, and the little tiny creatures crawling around on the planets don't have giant impacts on planets.
There's no people climbing around on Venus, and Venus is uninhabitable.
Right. It's the what do you call it? It's the control.
You know what I think does really hurt us though, G-Webs, is the fact that I don't think we're doing a lot worse than what we were doing before. But the real problem is that there's 3 times as many of us as there was as little as 100 years ago.
And the thing is, we're not.
So the combination of the two is like a double whammy.
We're not.
There really is way too many people on the world right now.
Why? Says who?
We're
Says people who like to speak about it and make money off of studies and
let's try to pretend that the college circuit is the multi-billion-dollar industry that the oil industry.
You don't think that public education or whatever you want to call
No, it's not the billion-dollar
college education isn't a massive industry? Okay.
No, it's not.
Colleges don't make any money, right?
They are not paying speakers to speak on climate change billions of dollars. That is not.
Who cares
happening.
if they're making billions of dollars? You don't need to make billions of dollars to make your living on it, and your reputation on it.
Millions of dollars.
Where were the dinosaurs on Venus that decayed and became oil, and that's where the same chemicals on Venus?
I'm not understanding your thinking here. Are you mining for oil on Venus? There's no oil on Venus.
You don't think so? You don't think there's any methane on Venus?
There's methane on Venus. It was there enough. There's methane.
Where does that methane come from? According to the people think that oil comes from dinosaurs, methane is a part of the
obviously Venetian dinosaurs.
In an hour or two, I will explain to you where the methane comes from. Do you understand that all substances come from the heart of a star? Every substance that's around goes through a certain amount of cycles before it reaches the basic isotope, where it becomes the basic element. That element is what creates the centers of stars. It's what basically makes up all of us. That element is composed. It's the final cycle of all elements. Those elements all start at a central point. That's what the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory is all these elements were dispersed, they coagulated and grouped in certain areas, and then they've started living their cycle since then. We're not going to discuss all of that here in just a few minutes in a chat window, but you can't try to draw a correlation, because there's methane.
We'll have faith that the people who wrote that down in books were right.
Well, I don't have faith. No, I go base it on their evidence and their scientific principle and physics and mathematics. I base it on faith.
And they've never been wrong, so they've never corrected themselves.
No,
they're 100% right. Oh, so it's a theory, so we have faith that their theory is correct.
Right there, you just proved yourself wrong, because they're often wrong in history, and when they are wrong, they not only admit it, they rejoice in it, and then they change their facts. They change their information. So, therefore, they have no agenda in hiding anything.
Therefore, they can never be wrong, because every time they're proven wrong, they just change the facts and change their theory.
They don't have an agenda to try to push a wrong agenda.
Their agenda is to keep telling people what they want to hear so that they can continue to make money doing it.
What wants to hear? Who wants to hear
the people that want to hear the little tiny critters on the ants in the forest are the ones responsible for deforestation.
Where's the profit incentive in people wanting to hear that? Who's wanting to hear that?
Okay, so because someone makes profit on the other side, it's wrong.
Who's profiting? Who's making this huge profit off of climate change?
Every single individual who risks their reputation.
Fucking shit. You're saying one or two people making money, speaking on a college circuit, making thousands of dollars.
There's one or two people that have proven all climate change is human-made?
No, these are
a whole bunch of people.
It's about 90% of the population of the science.
Advertising.
90% of scientists, Bob, say that global warming is caused by people.
90
and not by
90 to 95,
changes on the
something like
planet.
that, yeah.
95% of all scientists agree that climate change is occurring and that human beings are having a disaster.
Well, everybody knows that climate change occurs. You guys are saying that it has to do with the actions of human beings.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying we might accelerate it. I don't think we're totally to blame. I think it's just something that happens, but we're making it worse.
Yes,
I grew up with parents who had gone through the dirty 30s. Now, if that wasn't climate change, I don't know what was, right?
When one meteor hits the ground and makes a dust storm on that same Cosmos show you're talking about, he talks about the one meteor or comet or whatever hitting the ground and making a cloud for 5 years, and it wiped out all the critters. That was somehow man-made too, because that was really fast climate change.
No, that wasn't climate change. That is what they call a catastrophic change. That's not an occurring climate change. And
there's climate change. It's just caused by something different.
They're not trying to change that, try to tie that to our current situation. you can use that as an example of how things can
Sure,
happen.
if you ignore the fact that natural causes can change climate quickly, then yeah, your argument's awesome. Again, if you
Wait, you consider a meteor natural causing? So if you got hit by a meteor tomorrow and died, you died of natural causes?
Well,
I don't know where you came up with that, but no.
Well, that's technically natural.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
It is technically, it is a natural cause. Meteors fall out of the sky.
You're okay with us changing the environment to where it's uninhabitable if there's other factors that could also do it?
No, I think you're giving human beings a heck of a lot of power in that.
Well, we were already showing evidence that we have that power. We're already polluting our environment.
Yeah.
Have you been to some countries that are major polluters and just seen the sky?
I've been to cities that are gross.
Yeah, so imagine that on a global scale and try to pretend that doesn't have any effect on the environment.
Yeah, I've been about a lot of places, and again, you're asking a lot for a population size to be changing the whole planet.
I mean,
in China, in the next 10 years, they're going to have another 5 or 10 million cars going.
And they've already polluted a great portion of they got a huge country, luckily, but they've already had to just abandon entire cities because they've made them uninhabitable.
Yeah, it is.
So pollution causes global warming now.
Pollution does have an effect on global
warming. Yeah, it does have an effect. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with Yankee on that. I disagree with him on that it's completely human caused.
No one's saying it's completely human drone. We're having a negative effect.
We're not helping.
Yeah, we're not helping. Well put, Chris. You know, we know we could make it better. You know.
Yeah, we could definitely.
Hey, Chris is helping. Chris drives a fucking hybrid. Chris is helping.
I know. You know, I'm helping all I can because personally I want it to get warmer where I live, so I drive a 3/4 ton Dodge.
Saying that, but when it does get warmer, we'll come and kill all you Canadians and take your land.
Oh, fuck you. You wouldn't have a chance.
Well, we'd take you in a second.
First time it got cold, you'd fucking die.
It won't get cold. That'd be the thing, Bob.
Because all I'm talking about is 2 or 3 degrees temperature change. 2 or 3 degrees.
To protect your all's little pansy ass.
2 or 3 degrees. Fuck, man. Your little tiny American cars, you got nowhere to plug them in. You just like...
What do you mean we got nowhere to plug them in? We got outlets in every corner of our houses.
Yeah, but you don't have a block heater on your cars.
Buy those. Those are easy to buy. We bought them back home. We had to plug our cars in at night.
All right. A little bit of a switcheroo here, okay? I have some gear questions.
Okay.
G-Webs, do you use speed? What do you call this? Speed clips for your vests? Does anybody?
What's a speed clip?
What's a
for
speed
Molly?
clip?
Okay, let me link.